Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in the right. Hello, welcome to the MungalowCroonings show with Abby and friends. Yeah. Oh my days. I've got a bit of a headache. I must confess. I do have a bit of a headache today. But we'll be fine. So yeah, happy new year. Happy new year, everyone. This is our first show for the year. 2022. I remember when we were in 1990 something, and it seemed like 2020. And there was this whole thing about the Y2K 2000, the year 2000, and they said all the computers were going to shut down and the world was going to implode. And everybody was like, Y2K, Y2K. And some people cashed out because they knew that it was just a computer changing dates. That's all. It was just a computer just changing from 1999 to 2000. So all the computer geeks just collected money from people, and everybody was running around. Y2K, Y2K. And now we're in Y2K 22. Anyways, I hope that people have gotten out of that whole New Year resolution thing, because I think you and I both know New Year resolution doesn't work. Just have an intention. I've been doing that living with intention since last year. I was like, I'm living with intention. Anything I'm doing, I'm being purposeful about it. And honestly, it saved me from a whole load of hula baloo. Excuse me. Saved me from all of that, because once I knew what it was I wanted to do, I didn't waste my time with anything else. So, I don't know. I'm really having a bad headache, guys. I'm just being honest here. And this headache has I usually have migraines and tension headaches, but I've been having more tension headaches than migraines. And it's starting to annoy me now. Anyways, so we have a very interesting topic because, of course, for my birthday, in case you missed out on my birthday party thingy, we still have the video out there. So go watch it, drop a comment, like that kind of thing. And you can still put your questions that you want to ask me, and I can look. And if I see a question that I feel that I can answer, I will answer it. And if you got a right question that I cannot answer, I won't answer it though. So, anyways, yeah. Christmas was very quiet. New Year's Day was very quiet because it's like, just, and I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's a headache that's making me yawn or whatever. I don't know. But I really, oh God, that pain is so bad. Anyways, I'm trying to think. Try and think with a headache and tell me what it's like. The thing is, you know, um, since we've gotten into the new year, I've just been feeling some type of ways. I mean, Ron called me and he himself was like, he seems like in a bad mood. And I wasn't in a bad mood, but I was in a mood. I just wasn't like, it's been a bit better because I actually left the house. I think I was just going a bit stir crazy. And then I left the house and I went out, had some fresh air, and it's got to sort of better. Not totally better, but why am I yawning? I'm not tired. I'm not sleepy. I don't know why I'm yawning. I think it's just the pain. So, anyways, what did I do today? Today I got ready early because I thought I had classes because college is back. So I was thinking, oh God, I have some classes from sewing classes. Then I realized I didn't have any, but I still had to go to work to the radio station. So I went there, and then I came back home. My carer's been, she's gone. Um, I have This is ridiculous. I don't know why we're yawning so much. I have a class tomorrow, so I'm going to have to go to bed early, and especially with this headache, it's not working out for me. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. I think is very interesting because I have seen people lose their minds over weddings. like when I was in Nigeria. I was like, you're not okay. You're not all right. I'm like, it's my day. It's my day. I'm like, madam, you're not marrying yourself. There's somebody. It's not just your day. And then when I came to the UK, I came and I discovered a program called Bridezillas. Now I didn't even know that they had a name until I came to the UK and I was like, oh, so those my friends were losing their minds. They're Bridezillas. I get it. And there are also some groomzillas. Like, man, the way the man will be like, no, it's my wedding day, my wedding day. This, I'm like, brother, are you going to eat sand after this wedding? Because it's like, I want the best, I want this. And it's like, you do know that the ceremony takes roughly about 40 minutes. And that's a long ceremony. So the ceremony of joining you to your partner is about 40 minutes. And then max, you have a party that lasts maybe, like the reception, that kind of thing. That's roughly about maybe another 5 hours max. Then, okay, maybe you have a party, you dance, like, you have a party where you dance and all that stuff. So that dress that you're spending thousands of pounds on, you're only going to wear it once. Unless, like a lot of people are being thrifty, so they're getting dresses that they can repurpose and dye and change it to a different color and be able to wear it for something else. But most people will shell out money for that very special dress with the beading. And of course, when you see a bride, I've never seen an ugly bride. I've only seen beautiful brides, and they're all dressed, and when they come out in that dress, you're like, dang, okay, this dress is fine, but is it worth 100,000? Nah, I'm sorry, it's not. No matter how beautiful it is, it's not. Because if I'm going to be getting married in a dress that's worth over 100,000, I had better be wearing that dress for the entire week. Like, I'm getting married, so a whole week I'm inside this dress. But anyways, let me not talk too much about it. Let me bring on Ron. Rev, are you there? Rev as oh, okay. I let him hype himself as usual. Yeah, muted though.
Thank you very much.
We can't hear anything. I thought you were going to play your usual drums and everything. What happened? New Year. In the new year,
Well,
fa. I'm
I'm still
shocked.
setting up.
In the new year, no drums, no fanfare, nothing. You just came up and said,
Ah, sure. If I do now, you say I did.
wait,
I did do now.
let
You
me
say.
check your temperature. Wait, let me check your temperature. Let me check your temperature. It's a bit
Sure. If I
warm.
do
Are
now,
you sure
you
you're
say
not
I did.
feeling too warm?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Happy New Year, Ron.
Happy New Year. I hope you're enjoying your New Year.
You know what how my New Year was like. So we got what question is that?
I have to pretend viewers I don't know now.
You have to pretend like you
I
didn't
have to
know.
pretend like I didn't know. Yeah, but
My
I see
my
that.
New Year was wonderful. I went out to on a yacht with my friends. We went and had,
Hmm.
like there was a prince that came from France, and we all had a great time, and so much champagne. Oh my God. Champagne with strawberries floating. It was unbelievable. I had the bestest time. And then we also, at the top of the yacht, and then the fireworks to welcome in the
Keep
year.
going. I'm listening.
Shebi, you wanted me to tell you how
No,
my
just
new
I
year
just
was,
need
but
to know the. I just need to know the what they call it.
the novel that I'm reading from.
Yes.
But the crazy thing is that some people might have actually welcomed the year in like that, where they're on some yacht with some rich friends and everything
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with the
Yeah.
fireworks. I did open my door at a point in
Mm-hmm.
time when the new year came in because there was so much fireworks. So
Okay.
I opened my front door and I looked out and the sky was just lit with fireworks and a neighbor, I don't even know which neighbor it was. It was just someone in the dark because I wasn't wearing my glasses. and it was someone in that who just shouted, "Happy New Year!" I was like, "Happy New Year!" And then I was like, "Okay, I better close my door now."
Well, me, I was indoor. I just at some point when I slept, so I slept till about 11:45. Then for some reason I woke up. Then I just spoke to my God, prayed, then sat back and started thinking. My family, okay, my wife and kids were in church the whole time doing the regular crossover nights. So
Mm.
and later they
My brother
came.
did his online.
Oh,
He was the
okay.
person I spoke to just before the new year, and he was like, "Oh, I'm online. I'm doing the crossover," and I was like, "I can't remember what century that I did that last."
Incidentally, South Africa was locked down till 11 o'clock. Then just about that time, hey, Caddy,
Yay! Happy New
Happy
Year!
New Year, guys. How are you?
Happy New
Oh,
Year. In fact,
fine.
Candy was the only one who enjoyed Christmas and New Year for some reason.
Why?
Because when I was having a shitty celebration, I had to switch to Candy's page on Facebook to say, oh God, this girl is actually enjoying. She's rocking life. Wow.
I didn't even go on social media, so I missed it all. I didn't go on social media because I was
You
just
know,
like,
I
"Mm-mm."
actually worked on Christmas Day.
Oh
Are you serious?
my.
Yeah, I
So
did.
how
Hey,
did
how
you
was
put up
that
all
like?
the fun package we were watching?
Afterwards.
No,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
how was it like working on Christmas Day
I
with
mean, I'm used
people
to
who
working holidays. I'm a nurse, so
Yeah.
it goes
I
with
know
the
what I mean is, like those people in hospital who like a lot of people don't usually have any family and they're there on Christmas Day. And
Yeah,
I
so I don't work in the hospital. I go to patients' homes. So
okay.
you get to see a lot of
Oh,
patients who live by themselves who don't really have anyone. That's why actually I don't really mind working the holidays sometimes because sometimes I might be the only person that person gets
Mm.
to talk to that day. So I always try to bring my
oh,
very cheerful
that's
self
nice.
whenever I do these visits on holidays.
That's
Yeah.
very nice. Very
So
nice.
you
You
were dressed as
considerate.
an elf or Santa or what?
No, I did have a Santa hat, but
Santa nurse.
yeah.
That's nice. My carer was meant to come on Christmas Day, but I actually told her no. I don't want anyone working on Christmas Day for
Yeah.
me. And she said, "Oh, if only everybody else agreed with you," because I was one of several clients.
Yeah.
So, but I told her, "Don't worry, don't come on Christmas Day and don't come on New Year's Day. Just leave me alone. I'll be fine."
Mm.
So, but the very next day, they called to make sure I was okay. Then they sent someone. No, not the next day because the next day was Sunday. The Monday, they called and they sent someone around like, "You okay?" Before my carer arrived, like, "You okay?" Because we know that you were alone. I was like, "I'm fine." I
Mm.
just stayed in my pajamas and didn't really do anything. Just watched TV and I did some sewing that I had. That's it.
It's still
So
something.
yeah, so I mean, I get what Candy's saying about sometimes she could be the only person because I didn't see anybody. I didn't see any. I was by myself, didn't see nobody, not a soul.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you for your service. I hear that. I know that
Thank you for your
they say thank.
service.
I know, no, but it's true because they greet people in the armed forces. Thank you for your service. But I think that people who do medical work should also be told that too,
You
because
know,
it's not.
especially when I'm still in my uniform and maybe I have to stop at like a grocery store or something. People will stop me sometimes and say that, and it makes me feel so awkward.
No,
Like,
but
Yeah,
it's serious
it's to
work.
encourage you.
I know. It's just weird.
Then imagine if you're a vet and a nurse. That's
Oh yeah, I
double.
know.
Thank you for your service. So how's your day been today, Candy?
So far so good. You know, I did work earlier today, although today I had a bit of a shorter day than my usual day, so I can't complain, but yeah. We're getting more COVID, we're seeing more COVID patients again, which kind of sucks.
Oh
But
God.
yeah.
Yeah, but this variant isn't as deadly as the first one, right?
No, it's not. It's not. Most people, I know a lot of people that have actually tested positive, and many of them just some mild illness. And even if it wasn't mild, it's usually just sit there for like 24 hours and they get better within a few days. So,
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
thank God. So
Yeah.
I've
If
been
the people,
told that
well,
Candy, I've been
oh,
told that people who have the Megatron, wait, what's it called again? I keep calling it Megatron.
Omicron.
Omicron.
The Omicron, sorry, I keep thinking Transformers. So I keep thinking.
The way
At the point
temperature
time, I
going,
was
it
saying
could get
Voltron.
there.
Sorry,
Mm.
all the Trons. Anyway, so that's if people get Omicron, that it actually makes some people immune to Delta.
That's what I've heard too. That's what I've heard. That it actually the antibodies are somehow, I don't know, but we learn every day with this whole pandemic.
That's the thing. I just hope
Yeah,
there's not a new one that will come that they'll not be calling Septacron or something. Or
I
just be
know,
like, oh yeah,
right?
it have do.
I'm
For me,
tired.
as long as people are not dying like before, I think I'm fine.
No, people are. Yeah, people are. People. I mean, the cases have gone up. Consider like here in Connecticut, I think we hit like 26% of new cases. Well, that's where we are, 26% right now, and
Mm.
we haven't been like
Mm.
that since May of last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but the fortunate thing is that the hospitalizations are not as bad, and like you said, people are not dying the way people were dying before.
But are these unvaccinated people who are coming in or vaccinated people?
The majority of people who are getting severely ill and having to go to like ICU and stuff are unvaccinated. Majority. I mean, there's still people that are vaccinated. They're also getting, but they're in the minority.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can only hope that things get better. So let's move on to happier things. Ron, have you finished telling us about your holiday? Ron was
Yes,
with his
nothing.
kids. That I remember Ron calling me and telling me that there were guests in the house and he was doing all the cooking. And I was like, isn't it
Ah.
Oh,
typical? He's tantalizing me with food in South Africa while I'm in the UK hungry. Can you just imagine that? I was like, that is the height of wickedness.
Not nice, Ron. Not nice.
Not nice at all.
what
But
about me
someone
that
was
had to
telling
watch
me,
you?
hmm? Oh, you
what about
mean
me that had to
him?
watch Candy enjoy
But that's the thing. Candy didn't call you specifically and be like,
I
Ron,
don't even.
watch
What do you mean,
me.
candy? And what? Like, what are you even talking about?
Ah, you had the special the dream Christmas.
I mean, yeah,
Okay,
it
I,
was. I
I
mean,
have
it
to
was
go and
nice.
watch this thing because he was telling me about your Christmas and I didn't ask the details, but now I'm sort of curious.
Me too. I'm actually kind of curious at exactly what he saw.
What did you see, Ron? Tell us.
Huh? They were first it started with the Tesla ride, right? Then
Oh, right.
okay. First it was a Tesla ride. Then we moved from a Tesla ride. No, it started with the decoration. Her
Yeah,
house was the only house on that street that was fully decorated. Fully,
that's
when
nice.
I say fully, up onto the doorknob, everything was fully decorated. Then then they went on the Tesla ride. After promising she wasn't going to harass her husband to get her own Tesla, she changed her mind just after one ride. Then they cooked all sorts and manner of food. I really don't know. They were just eating everything. Then when she got bored of eating her own food, then she started spying on other people's pages, like Bumi's page, to see what Bumi is eating. Then she orders what Bumi is eating. Then she's eating it. I'm like, how fun can a Christmas be? She
Oh
was
my
just doing
goodness. I
whatever
think
she wished, whatever. She was just enjoying.
you've pretty much summed up my holiday.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect holiday and you deserve it, Candy. So
No,
you
well,
go,
yeah, I
girl.
can't complain.
But tell us, how is it being in a Tesla?
Oh
Because
my
I hear that
goodness,
it's an
man.
experience.
I can talk about that car for
So this car brakes by itself when it gets to a
Yes,
traffic.
it's insane. Like I said in my post, my initial post about it, I'm not a car person. I don't, to me, as long as it got me from point A to point B, like even when I bought my car a few years ago, I bought the car that had to spend the least money on, no frills, nothing. I just wanted to be able to have a reliable car to get me from point A to point B. Everybody has their thing, and cars has never been my thing.
Mhm.
Um, and even so, Mike has been saying it for a few years now that he wants to get a Tesla. He wants to get a Tesla. I'm like, whatever. It's just another car, another car. So when then he decided this year was going to be the year, and he ordered it. And even when it came, I'm just like, oh, okay, you got a Tesla, cool. And then he took me around the neighborhood in it. And I'm just like, wow. And then when I got to drive it, oh my goodness, now I want my own.
So basically, tell me what it feels like when you hold on to the steering wheel
Okay,
of a
I think we have
Tesla.
Justin. Hey,
It,
welcome,
Oh,
Justin.
hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're,
Can you
we're
hear
hearing
us?
about the Tesla experience. Can you hear us?
Hello, Justin.
I don't think you
Oh,
can
we see
hear
who
us.
mute.
doesn't sound look like he can
Justin,
hear.
can you hear us?
Don't doesn't
Hello,
look like
Justin. Wait.
does
Oh, nice, nice, nice. You did the proper thing. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
he obviously can't because he's
Okay,
just looking at
okay,
the
let's just
screen
keep going.
one.
He will catch up.
We'll keep
He will
going.
catch
Yeah,
up.
he will catch up with us. So
Okay.
yes, you hand holds the steering wheel and
It's just unlike anything I've ever driven. It just pretty much drives itself. Let's just put it that
so
way.
you can
Hmm.
because I've heard some people say that with Tesla that you actually don't have to actively drive.
No, you don't. You
You can
don't.
just sit
You
in
can
the
just
car and just let the car
yeah.
drive.
It's
Hey,
insane.
my liver will not be strong
I
enough. I'm
don't think
like,
that will work in Lagos, so
hey,
I don't think that
Yeah,
will
I
work in
mean,
Lagos.
I didn't use the full autopilot when I was driving because like you said, I still kind of leery of all that, but that whole
mhm.
like the first time when I was slowing down, like someone was in front of me and I was slowing, and all of a sudden the car stopped. I was like, "Whoa, this car braked by itself!" Like, or got to a red light and it stopped before I hit the brakes. It's just like, in fact, apparently you're not even supposed to really be hitting the brakes, because it knows when to brake. It's just
That
amazing.
would be the perfect car for me if I could trust it. Because I mean, I'm not allowed to drive because of the spasms.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Although people have been telling me that I can get a mobility car, but the thing is that my fear is even if I get a mobility car and I'm not using my legs, I still have spasms. So imagine
Right,
I'm
right.
driving
Yeah,
and then I have a spasm in the car.
yeah.
I can't risk that. So um
I
I
I
don't
think
I don't know about me getting a mobility car,
I
but
think
if I could get a Tesla,
that can be bypassed with a Tesla. So they'll just
Mhm.
that's what I'm
they will
saying.
like
Just sit
put
in this thing. I don't have to
they'll
worry
put all
about
those
having a
prods
spasm
on
because it
you.
will do its thing.
They'll put all those things on you on your muscles. So when the spasm starts, these cars drive by themselves, so it will just find a way to clear and park on the side. So I'm sure it can be done.
Yeah.
So go fund me. I need a Tesla.
I had a friend like 4 years back. He had a stroke while driving. I'm like, every time I remember the experience, I'm like, God, thank you. Like while he was driving, he just had that attack. He just had that stroke and he veered off the road. I think he was struck by a tree or something like that.
Oh
I was
my
like, it
God.
could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Nah, I'm telling you, like friends will say, "Oh, get a mobility card. You can get one and this and that." And I'm like, you don't seem to understand because they've never seen me have a spasm, so they don't understand the gravity of what I'm saying. That I can't drive, even though they're saying, "Oh, don't worry, they'll put the controls where your hands can reach." And I'm like, it's not just spasms in my leg; it's my entire body, you know, fitting. And I just don't think that there's any sense in that I will go and put other people's lives at risk because I want to drive a car. But if I
Yeah,
had
it's
a
not just your
Tesla,
life.
I got in. If I get into the
not
car,
just your
tell you where
life.
I'm going, I just sit down. I'm like, oh, I'll get there. Spasm or no spasm, I'll get in there. So go fund me if you love me, please contribute towards my Tesla. Because now I'm very very intrigued. I'm very intrigued about it. I have to go and see whether I can find somewhere to test it out. I don't know whether they have. I'm sure they have Teslas in the UK. Just have to find a testing center so you can just go and sit in it and just experience it. You know, if it was in Nigeria, okay, let me not diss Nigeria, but if I were in Nigeria, right, and I managed to get a Tesla or two, I'll actually turn it into an amusement ride.
You'd make money
Pay
out of it.
I be pay 2,000, sit down, it will drive you from Ikeja to to one place. Sit down, just sit in the car, give you the experience. And
Did you,
I'm
did you
telling
see?
you, within 2 months, I will make the money of that Tesla back.
No, it's funny that I saw something. Someone had posted on Third Mainland Bridge, where someone
Yeah, the battery ran out.
they had to tow someone's Tesla because the battery ran out.
Yeah, the
How
battery ran
can
out.
you even have a Tesla in Nigeria that does not have electricity? I'm like, it doesn't
Yeah,
make
maybe
any
they had
sense.
generators, like they had
The only kind
personal.
of Tesla that would make sense in Nigeria is a solar Tesla because there is more than enough sun to power your car. It's only a solar car would make sense in Nigeria.
Well,
But you
no,
are buying a car that needs electricity. Are you crazy?
but if you have a generator though, because
Yeah,
you can plug it to an outlet.
Yes, but you can plug it to an outlet in a country that the oil, the petrol or the diesel can just shoot up and suddenly you can't find it in the market. Your car
That's
is it
true.
sits at home. It doesn't.
if
These
you have
things
the
are
money to
not
buy the Tesla,
regular.
if you have the money to buy the Tesla, I'm sure you would have factored all that.
So you have money to buy refinery too, and buy
No,
NEPA
you can
office.
buy it. Do you know how many people have big tanks, big fuel tanks in their compounds? Many.
So basically, is what the Yoruba people say that you buy the horse and then you buy the person that will be shouting, "Get out of the way!" Also,
Exactly. Exactly.
it doesn't make any sense. They should just. I hope that the people who are making Tesla are thinking about making a fully solar powered one that doesn't need because it doesn't make any sense to me for a country like Nigeria that doesn't have regular electricity, regular oil, even though it's an oil rich country and all of that, to then be buying a Tesla that will not die on Third Mainland Bridge and it become the next meme on social media.
But jokes aside, whoever had that car must have been a clown because obviously it's telling you the amount of power you have left, energy, whatever. Then you decide to still take it on the road and try to show off
And
and
Third
charge it.
Mainland Bridge of all places.
Yes, yeah. So the topic,
Candy, have you ever sat in traffic in Third Mainland Bridge before?
Yeah.
It's
why not?
as if you should just jump out and enter the water and start
Yeah, when
swimming.
we were in Nigeria a couple of years ago, we were in traffic on Third Mainland Bridge. It was not fun.
It was no. I live in on like going to Agege. I don't know if you know where Agege
Yeah,
is, but that is not even the land. There's the island, the mainland, and then the offland.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's offland, and I used to work on the island.
Oh boy,
So getting up at 4 in the morning to
that's a hike.
get into a car for huh?
I said that's a hike.
Candy, what did
I
you
said
say?
that's a hike.
Oh yes. And every day like that.
Wow.
So get to work very early and then get home very late. It was awful. And that Third Million Bridge was the bridge. You always had to go over it to get there. Anyways, let's move on to the topic of today. Let's move on to the topic. Kayode came on and then he disappeared. I don't know what happened. Kayode spent a bit of his Christmas worried that he had corona, but he didn't. But I
Oh
had a
God,
good
not
time for
again.
him though. I had a good laugh.
Not again.
What?
Oh, okay. My friend Consequence.
Okay, let's add consequence. Hello.
Yay!
Is your
Finally, you
name
made
really
it.
consequence?
Yes, ma'am. Or Kelly or Mr. Kelly.
Ah, okay, because I know DJ Consequence.
Hey. Hi,
You are
everybody.
talking
Good
to
evening
him.
from this
You are
side.
saying his
Hi.
name.
Good
Is
evening,
that
everybody.
DJ Consequence? Is
No,
it
no,
the
no, no,
DJ
no,
Consequence?
no, 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 no.
Oh, okay. But that's very interesting. I've never heard anyone called Consequence as a name.
Ah, okay, that's my name. But Mr. Kelly. Hi, everybody. Good evening from this end.
Hey,
Hey,
you're
oh,
welcome.
Kayode says I'm
Finally.
here. Yeah, nice to meet you. So, how was
Wait,
your Happy New Year, by the way?
Happy New Year to you too. Abi.
So, how was
Hi,
your
Mr. Ram.
holiday?
Oh, well, for me, I'm not heavy on holidays. I had a lot to do. It wasn't particularly fun, but I think that is the default setting for me. So I'm not really inclined towards what people call fun these days. For me, fun for me, stay in my house, pick up books and read, stay alive, eat healthy. That's just about it for me.
Ah,
and the
bruh.
funny thing is that Consequence, this guy has the energy he has. Two of us are joking. This guy does podcasts from Monday to Monday, like 7 hours, and is all he's doing is sharing knowledge, bringing controversial topics for everybody to learn from. And I'm like, I wish I had this kind of energy. I really wish I had this kind of energy.
If I had that kind of energy, I still won't be doing podcasts because the truth is, for me, this is the way I see life. None of us are getting out of this place alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, just enjoy yourself, do what you need to do, but take time to have fun because this is it, you know. So yeah, but I mean each to their own. So
Yeah, I agree
I
with
can't
you.
that
I,
kind of
I,
strength. I wish I had that energy though, because I don't have energy at all. I
I,
wish I
I
did.
agree with you. For me, it's not really. For me, I think I've had too much fun in the past. And that was
Oh,
when that was when I haven't really woken up to the reality of this simulation that we live in. So, but since I started waking up to the reality, most of the things I used to really call fun way back then don't particularly interest me anymore. So I think that was what
okay,
happened.
fair enough.
Yeah, that was what happened for me. Not like I've not always been this way, but I think there's a shift in my philosophy of life, which also then shift my consciousness to a different thing. So the things that people will call fun, they want what are fun today for most people. Like when people say fun today, it's usually okay. Let's go to party, let's go clubbing, let's go to the beach, and that's just it at the end of the day for most people, actually, not for everybody, but for most people, when they say fun, let's go to party, let's go clubbing, let's go hang out, go to the beach, and that's just about it. Nothing else.
Okay, so because that's not what I would have called fun because I haven't seen a beach in only God knows how many years. I'm nowhere near water. And if I am, I don't know where it is. But yeah, I
Oh,
mean, at the end of the day, you do you. That's what that matters.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
well, Kyle, they don't stay on YouTube. Come and join us, please. So today's topic is how much is excessive for a wedding budget? Because whether we want to like it or not, believe it or not, we are getting close to wedding season. Because what happened over the holidays for a lot of people, proposals, a lot of proposals
Yes.
happened. In fact, I got to be part of one proposal. Which was a very funny one because I was basically the witch inside the proposal. That was my part. So a lot of proposals happened over the holidays. A lot of people, decided that maybe the holiday spirit or maybe this whole colloidal virus situation. Let us do this thing. Let's marry and let's get it on and stop wasting time and all that stuff. And again, because towards the end of the year, a lot of people unfortunately pass. So there's also that urgency of life that people
Sure.
feel. Excuse me. So a lot of people got engaged and everything. So of course, a lot of wedding planning is going on now. And again, with Valentine coming, so those who missed out the proposals in December, a lot of them will be planning it around Valentine. That okay, Valentine's when they make up. Maybe they just needed to make sure that they had enough money to last the 365 days that in January. And make it into February, then they can go and propose. So now you can imagine what it's like. I mean, I was in Nigeria. I really haven't been part of a wedding in the UK. I've only been part of one. It was a horrific experience. I was like, never again. Never. The one I experienced in Nigeria, I don't even like to think about it. It was just awful. But in Nigeria, of course, a lot of my classmates, a lot of my contemporaries, once we finished the uni, they started to get married and things like that. And, the whole ashwebi, that's like the uniform that people get to wear, then the whole parties, and then again, depending on the group of people, because like people like me, I had friends everywhere. So I had friends in church, I had friends in not in the world, or maybe church people say in the world or whatever. So like in some groups, when the planning the what we will call bridal shower, they'll call it testimony nights. So they'll have it in the church, they'll sit down, they'll sing praises and worship and everything. Then my sister testify how you may, oh, we prayed and we saw the face of the Lord and this and that and that. And I used to roll my eyes so far back into my head, like, yeah, right. Like we did see you guys dating. You just prayed, and next thing the man just showed up by your side like that, and all that stuff. And then, of course, with the bridal showers, some people wanted it to be crazy, some people wanted it to be just okay, and that kind of stuff. So that's my experience. I'm just quickly sharing my experience of that wedding fever. So, who wants to tell me their own experience of either their wedding? How did you go
Bumi is
about your
here.
wedding? Hey!
Bumi is here.
I didn't even look up. Hey, boobs! Happy
Hi,
New
Oh,
Booby.
Year! Oh my
Happy New
God, you
Year.
look gorge.
I
Bumi,
do?
can you turn your
What
camera
did you
sideways?
do?
Oh,
Bumi, can you turn your camera sideways?
right. Hold
What
on,
did? Oh,
sorry.
you're not at home
She's in the
today. You're actually
office.
at
She's in
work.
the office.
Yeah, she's in
Yeah,
the
I'm in the
office.
office.
You dress very nice for office, so.
I know. You know, I come to work looking terrible because I'm the only one here most of the time. Sorry, let
No,
me
you
do
don't
this.
look terrible.
Oh.
You look very
I may have
nice.
to. I may have to come off and come back on. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
okay,
No
come off and
problem.
come up.
No problem. So, you guys, because I'm not married, I don't know. Consequence, are you married?
no, not yet. Sadly.
Oh, you're married.
Is
No,
that
no,
Did you
no,
no,
say
not yet?
sadly.
sadly?
Is that not yet?
No, he
Sadly,
said
I
not
haven't
Oh,
heard
I
you
yet.
say.
thought he said I am. I thought he said he is, sadly. I'm like,
No,
No.
no,
I don't know anything. My hands are clean. No.
Indeed.
So,
So
okay, I
Candy
know
is the
Candy.
person. Candy should tell us because she's the first
Okay,
out of
so Candy.
us to get back.
Candy is having this very strange look on her face, like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Wait, what? Sorry, I was looking for something. What are we talking about?
So, Candy, can you tell us how it was preparing for your wedding? Did you go overboard? Was it like, oh, my wedding day, da, 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 or were you being practical and going, there's life after the wedding?
Well, I think it was a mix of both.
Okay.
So, initially,
I
so
can't
my
see your
parents,
face, Candy.
oh, sorry. So my parents paid for a majority of our wedding, like pretty much.
Okay.
So, because I mean, there's no way I could have had a big wedding if they didn't pay for it. I was not actually, I don't, I, I mean, first we had a small ceremony first, and then my parents really wanted us to have a big wedding. So They paid for the wedding. And even though they were paying for it, though, I tried to be prudent. I didn't. I don't think I. I wasn't. I wasn't like a bridezilla or you
Mm.
know, and I tried to be cognizant of how much they were spending. I mean, they still spent quite a bit of money, but I tried not to like, you know, go like super crazy. But it
Mm.
was it was a beautiful wedding. We had it at a zoo, um, with
Ah, that's
penguins.
unusual.
Yeah, we had it at the Maryland
Where
Zoo in
here?
Baltimore.
Oh
Huh?
wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, we had it at
I was
Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, and we had penguins at our wedding.
Oh
So
my days.
oh
yeah.
that's really
So you
cute.
know how, but when we had our wedding, during that time, like photo booths were really popular. So, but we didn't do the photo booths. Instead, people got to take pictures with the penguins, which was the highlight of the wedding.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. And with
Yeah.
them
So,
looking like they're wearing tuxedos anyways.
yeah. So, I mean, I think for the most part, I try to stay within the budget that my parents were going for. I mean, we went a little bit over, but here, weddings here can get very expensive when you start like the food and drinks. That's where you spend a lot of the money.
Mm.
So, but I think probably spent about, I think they spent like 60. Yeah.
Was there
60
anything that
grand.
you were like,
That's how
Yeah.
much your wedding cost?
Yeah.
60,000.
Yeah.
Your parents had to pay all of that, or did Mike's parents help too?
They,
Or you and
they
Mike
paid,
help?
no, they
That's
paid
a
it.
lot of fucking money. 60 grand.
for me? Stop!
Am I lying?
Like
Hey,
$60,000.
but
There are
you
people
know how our
spend
Yoruba
more.
parents are. They want a big
Ah,
wedding, so
there are
That is
people
No,
who
true. We
spend
do like
more.
our
Way
parties.
more.
we need to you need to also understand that is a diplomat wedding or not the ordinary wedding. They must show that yes, they must show our
All
daughter
right,
is
let me
here.
ask you this. Let me ask you this, Candy. Would you, looking back, was it worth it, or would you rather have used that money for something else, like buy a house at the time?
I
Oh, we're
mean,
getting to that. No, no,
I have two
we're
Oh,
feelings about
all
it.
right,
Like
we're
I
we're
getting
said,
to
getting to that.
Candy.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
No,
We're
let
just
Candy,
building
have
up.
Candy
your dream
answer.
house
Just let her
now,
answer and
but
get it out of the way. Yeah.
and you
Okay.
have the
initially,
wedding.
I would say I was like, a little bit, because I mean, for one thing, we weren't in the same place where the wedding was, so trying to coordinate it and everything. I mean, I had a great wedding planner and all that, but still, it was a very stressful thing. And but
Mm.
on the day of, it was so much fun, and I feel like we had such a great time, and it was such great memories I'm really thankful that my parents gave that to us. So while the money could probably have done something else for us, you know, more tangible, I
The
still don't.
experience, yeah,
Yeah, the
the experience
experience,
was worth it.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, it was definitely
you
worth it.
can't put money on that. And I
Yeah.
do love your wedding pictures. You look
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah,
in
your
your wedding
wedding
pictures.
picture is very nice. The few I've
The,
seen.
the traditional
So
was very nice.
Yes, the traditional one, the blue ones are very
You
nice.
see the picture with
so
Mike holding wads of cash.
No,
No,
I never saw that.
so Candy, was there anything in particular that you were like, I have always dreamt of having this. So I don't care how much it costs, I'm having it.
Not really. Let me think. I don't think so. I mean, the one thing I did know is that I always wanted to have a traditional Yoruba wedding. That's like no matter where it was going to be in the world, I knew I wanted to
Mm.
have a traditional Yoruba wedding. But other than that, I don't think there's
Wait, so
really anything.
you didn't do the whole white wedding
We
church
did.
She
part?
We did
did.
that
She
too.
did,
Oh,
We did
okay.
yeah.
that too. And we all did it in one day. There was none of that do one day and do the other one another
in
day. I
fact,
Oh,
think
you
so you
saved a
didn't
everything
lot
was
do
of
one
like
day.
money.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
No,
Friday,
no,
Saturday?
no.
That
Wait,
would have been
60
hundred
grand
and
was for
twenty
one
thousand
day? You people
dollars.
had an
Yeah.
Igbo wedding. That's what happened.
She switched off her phone by mistake. So, like, are you done? Are you still explaining?
No, I'm saying I said that's the only one thing. I can't think of anything else that I insisted on that I had to have on that I always thought I had to have on my wedding day. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Um,
guys. I
actually a
don't know
good
what I
one.
did.
Abby, Abby, don't
Yeah.
worry. Let me worry about the
Well, and
comment section. Don't worry.
I also wanted to make sure that we also had Nigerian food. So there was regular like American food and those Nigerian food. So
No
Okay.
wonder it was that expensive.
yeah.
Because Nigerian food in America, that won't be cheap.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the money was on food and drink, really.
Hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
How many
Okay,
guests
so
did you guys have?
Okay,
Like
so Bumi, your turn.
150.
Huh?
I think like
Your turn.
150.
Oh, okay.
150. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good
You
crowd.
guys want
That's
to
a
hear
good
about my
crowd.
wedding?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
tell
yes,
us.
It
yes.
was the
What are we
opposite
to
of
ask you?
Candies in every way.
Sorry?
It was the opposite of Candies in every way.
Okay, so what
So
happened?
I was poor when I got married.
I was poor too.
I left I left home when I was 18, and I lost my mom, and my dad hit really hard times, and I was basically responsible for myself from the age of 18. When I got married, I was 24. It really wasn't a love marriage. It was like I arranged my own marriage. Like
Oh wow.
when you're 20, you're stupid. I decided I was never gonna find love, and I just wanted to focus on other things like getting married, starting a family, starting a career, and having a life. And literally just chose this guy, deliberately got pregnant at 24 because I was homeless in London, and I was doing this thing where you're studying, you get a grant from the British government to go to uni, but you're also not allowed to sort of like sign on and get unemployment. But we're all
Yeah.
doing it. That's how you survive in London. And London's expensive. And I got caught, and I was forced to sort of sign just a whole thing, just surviving like that immigrant life, living on sort of like the edge of society in London. That's how it felt at the time. So by the time I got, although my wedding was still sort of enjoyable, I'd married someone for money like a few years before. That's another thing we used to do for stay, not like we were in love or anything like that. And my brother, who's a real jinta, he'd say, just take the money. You don't actually have to show up. But me being the goody two shoes that I am, I actually fucking went and showed up and married this guy. And then of course I
Wow.
never actually got divorced. And here I am getting married for real. And I'm actually already married. So I was so stressed that day, thinking they were gonna arrest me, something was gonna go wrong.
Oh, the first one was for paper, right? Money and paper.
Yeah, I know it was for money for me. I was helping somebody get
It was
papers.
money for her,
If
money for
Oh,
people
you.
okay,
invite me
Right?
to these
okay.
things, I'm gonna keep it real. So it was for money for me, but it was real for him. He needed a stay. This is how life was back then. So by the time I was getting married, I was heavily pregnant. I was worried I was gonna get arrested because literally I was breaking the law getting married. We got married in a registry in Ealing, Broadway. It was really interesting. My dad was in London at the time, and my dad is a stickler for timekeeping. Really gets on my nerves, that shit. So I was actually the first one at my wedding because my dad doesn't want to be late for anything, even though I'm the bride. My wedding was so funny. And then my brother got upset because we did the wedding before he got there. What else happened? And it was so colorful because we're Nigerians and everybody is in Gilly and all this stuff, and we're spilling onto the streets of London, and people are stopping to stare at us and take pictures and ask us questions. And then we went to a reception, which my dad got for us, like rented a hall somewhere in London. Most of the people there were my friends. There were some family members. A couple of my aunts showed up, but it wasn't how I had expected that my wedding would be. Like growing up in Nigeria, that was not how any of my aunts' weddings were. They had huge weddings. We shut down the streets in Ondo and all that. We had Sonny. We came from a pretty decent family. But by the time I was getting married, we didn't have shit. Life had changed, all that.
Well, we had to bring
80s.
Sonny to London.
Some people still do it.
Yeah, I know.
Some people still do it. But I really didn't care. If I had to choose between a wedding and a marriage, I'd rather have a good marriage. I mean, a wedding is a day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do it and it's not going to cost you something horrible, then do it. I'm all for spending money on experiences rather than things. But this idea that people have these days where you don't have a home, you have no savings, you have nothing, you're starting life literally in debt to have the perfect wedding, it's stupid. So, but that was
Yeah,
never
the
me.
one that always baffles me is when someone calls me from Nigeria and goes, "Ah, Abby, sorry, it's been such a long time. Hope you're okay, everything. Your sister is getting married, though. Rejoice with me." I'm like, that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you, everything. That's great. What are you going to contribute into my life now? I'm like, contribute. I
Are
don't
you at least
understand.
one that's married?
See, wahala. Me myself, I never marry. I know that I'm looking for, but as of that time, I'm like, I'm not even. And then you're expecting me to be sending you money to get married. If you didn't have the money, why are you getting married? Why are you now calling up people and trying to, charge them? I was like,
Exactly.
nah,
I mean,
you're not
isn't
Although,
it hard?
serious.
yeah,
People
like
like push
my
the
mother-in-law,
ashwabi on
she would,
people.
yeah,
Yeah,
my
you're
mother-in-law is
right.
quite a
I didn't do
socialite.
that for my wedding. I didn't. My mom doesn't believe in it anyway, so I was like,
Yeah,
well, I don't. Yeah, so we didn't do any
my mother-in-law is
ashwabi
quite
or
the
whatever.
socialite, and she kept wanting us to come back to Nigeria to do a proper wedding, and I just refused. By that time, I
Hmm.
had kids. I had real needs. I'm not fucking going to Nigeria to spend
Hmm.
money on a wedding where I don't know anyone just so you can feel good about yourself. So, but she kept
Like,
going on about
mommy,
that.
give
She,
us
I
the
share, I
money.
send you, I share, I send. Am I down low?
Oh, Ascension. I was actually my first, no, my second wedding was meant to have, well, sorry, no, I said second wedding. Sorry, the second guy was meant to marry. Our wedding was supposed to be at Ascension because the mom
What's
was a
that?
member of Rotary Club and, all that highfalutin stuff. And me, I come from a
Nigerians
deeper
are
life home.
crazy.
And I was like,
Honestly,
we are deeper life in our home.
if I had
The
many
woman
money
looked
that
like she was going
happy,
to die.
But but at the end of the day, it's always good we look back at all these things because I'm even thinking about mine, and all I can think of now is that I'm a totally different person from the time I was getting married till now, and there are a lot of things I wouldn't have done because for some reason when like 2 months to the wedding, I was even broke and like I didn't have enough cash before my wife even came over to Cape Town to come for the wedding and all that. But as the day drew closer, all of a sudden there was excess money everywhere, and I started feeling confident to do some things I consider
yeah.
extremely silly now. Now, why am I saying this? If I turn back the hands of time, I won't do a white wedding again. Like if we go back in
Hmm.
time and you ask me to do, I would never do a white wedding. I'll just stick to the traditional. If the traditional is not enough for wherever it is I am, then I'll go and do the sign the customary
Yeah, the
stuff,
registry.
the registry. The reason being is, we kill ourselves over things that are not relevant. Like either ways you want to look at
I
it, white
agree
wedding
with
is
you,
not
Ron. Why are
white
you
Yeah.
wedding.
Africans having three types of weddings when we're the
Yeah,
poor
okay.
ones?
See,
Like, why?
see. Let me tell
When
you.
white people get
Let
married,
me.
they
I'm
want
not
to do their
finished. So let me
own.
explain.
Mommy,
Really?
wait, let him finish.
Let me
Mommy,
finish. Let
let
me
him
finish.
finish.
Let me finish. I'm ashamed to say this, but I did it. Okay, I did. I did. I went to registry to Department of Home Affairs. First wedding. We still go church. No, no, no. Before church, while we were here, they had it. We had a traditional wedding back home in proxy, right? Immediately after that one, then we still did white wedding again. Now, at that time, like I keep saying, I didn't have sense then because I didn't know what I know now. So if you look at it technically, both the white wedding, it's not even our culture as a people, and even the reason why people do it, they say it's for church. It's not even scriptural. So I don't get why people spend millions or hundreds of thousands to achieve these things, and you end up being broke, or you borrow money and you start running away. Immediately after the wedding, you're hiding. You don't want people to see you. I'm owing this caterer. I'm owing this interior decorator.
Ha.
I'm owing this. I see these things happen. Then the car service, the people you borrowed car to do convoy, and disturb the whole neighborhood, you still
Is
have to
that
pay all of them.
Coyote? Sorry.
Sorry? Okay.
I thought it was in Punta Cana. Sorry, Ron. Sorry. Go on.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
listening.
So and then you hire convoy, you hire like 10 cars, so that you can have a convoy that will disturb the entire neighborhood to your venue and back. Then some people choose to use helicopter landing. Then some will use speedboats to come to the choose a venue by
What?
the
My mouth is open.
go to Cape Town now. Some people will choose a venue very close to a jetty, or, a waterfront. Then they will get a speedboat to come and arrive, announce they will arrive in the speedboat or helicopter. Then we have other people that you invite expensive musicians and all that, and you're basically just a commoner for lack of a better choice of word. You're basically just a commoner. And you're outdoing and outshining people that consider themselves royals. And I'm like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Even after this show, even after we resolve whatever resolution we have today, some people are still trying to upstage the last big wedding that they saw. So, and
Oh,
I guess what? My friend and I were doing a poll last year. So we're checking out all the mega weddings we saw at Channel E, and how far the weddings were. Do you believe it? It was a 70% divorce rate, like 70, and we are not even counted up to 30, 70%. So all the
that's
noise,
awful.
the rings, the blah blah, everything was just for show. You didn't even consider the guests that came, like where I come from, if you want to do divorce, part of the reason why they are going to go against them, like, so the elders will say, so you made me come to this wedding, now you want to scatter. And if you are going to give me back the time I wasted to come and sit down. No, I know it's just a funny way they respond to such action. They always let you know that you bringing them there is for the honor of the marriage, not just the wedding day. The marriage must continue. So I think there's a lot for us to learn from this experience, but I'll allow consequence and to even give his experience with what he has said. Over to you, consequence.
So, consequence, tell us your experience. Whether you are not married, so but
I'm not married,
is
so
there
it's difficult. I'm not
anyone
married,
that
so
you've seen? Yeah, but anyone you've seen or anyone in your family that they were just going crazy about the whole wedding. Hey, my wedding, that my wedding. Like honestly, that you almost want to start punching someone when they say my wedding. Like if I hear my wedding today, I'm going to beat you up.
I think, okay, first and foremost, I'm not really a party person. I mentioned it earlier on. I've never
Mm.
really liked to be part of. In fact, I feel sorry for myself sometimes. I think if I'm getting married today, who would I invite? Because when they invite me, I don't like to go. Because I
Ah,
don't just like I don't go to party. So I
I
start,
hope you tell
so I just
your
concluded.
girlfriend this one. Oh.
I just concluded that should I be getting married tomorrow? It might just be me, my parents, my sibling, and then my my in-laws, and that's it. Because I really do not have the energy for a lot of things. Some of the activities during wedding and all this is, I don't think I can really do these things. But I was Sukom Mobolanle's best man when he got married. Sukom Mobolanle is Kwapi Lue's son, the
Oh,
Oh,
actor.
okay,
okay.
okay.
Yes, I was his best man when he got married. I think that was my first close encounter with wedding preparation. But I think for him it was a little bit laid back, nothing much, except for one of her sister then that stays in. I think Magodo. Her sister was one of these affluent women that has this connection to top people and all this and that. She was saying to come, don't worry, we will invite top people to come for a wedding. But looking back, I really do not think we pushed so much, except for arrangement that took place underground without our knowledge. Uh, he really had it because I think he did what he had to do within his means. Okay, he wasn't going to overblow anything, knowing where he was at that stage in his life financially. So he acted within his means, and I think that was something that Mr. Ron was hinting at earlier on. That to us, 2 months to his wedding, everything was slow. And I was thinking, if things didn't really pick up, would you have done some of the things you do? I think no, but you would have still been able to work out something within what you had at the time. So I think that was what really happened during Sukumi's wedding. So other than that, I don't think I have so much experience in relation to how people, the pressure that comes with wedding and all these things. I don't think I have so much experience. But personally, I think
Okay,
for me,
I have a question I want to ask you. Is there a particular thing that you've always wanted for the day you get married, that it will be a, you know what, I don't care how much it will cost. I don't know. I don't care what it's going to take. I want it, and that's that.
uh,
Mr. Justin, we're coming to you soon. So please hang
uh,
fire.
let me
Don't go away.
let me think of
All
this
right.
one for a moment. Particular thing that I would be heavy on my wedding. Even though I would like to have a relatively small get together, I think I might just be heavy on my woman's ring. Really heavy on my woman's ring.
Mm.
I might just be heavy on my woman's ring. But party wise, in fact, I'm fine with party of 30 people. In fact, 20 people, I'm
Okay.
good.
Are you going to wear a ring? Are you going to get a ring for yourself?
For myself, I'm not particular about it. But for my woman, I just want to leave something that would be that she can look back to and be like, okay, this one too now wealth, so like I'm wearing wealth. Not because of my own thinking is even if I have all of the money in the world, the deciding factor for me not wanting to have big wedding is not because of the money. It's just because I
Mm.
don't have the energy for all these things. So all those money that I would have put into this thing, since I'm not doing big wedding, I'll put that money into something for her. Do you understand? That's something that is
Okay.
significant. Someone might say, why not buy property? That is important, but something that is significant for the occasion. So my way of making up for her or making it up to her for not having big wedding is I'm going to give you something that if you put that instead, decide to go sell it tomorrow, you know you're selling something that is really uh, of
Okay.
much value. I
So
think that's it for me.
why wouldn't you want to wear a ring?
Well, like I said, it's not like I'm not particular about with trim for me. I'm not particular about it. So I'm not like I don't want to wear, but would I go all out to spend heavy on my own ring? No, that's what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't really want to go all out and splash heavy on my own ring. But for my woman, okay, it is just something that I want to really go all out for.
I've noticed that Ron doesn't wear a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Why
I
was
didn't
that
mm,
a
wear a ring.
deliberate choice?
Yeah, before I got since I've been born, my mom told me that when I was a little, you know how women try to cute up their little boys, they'll be putting jewelries on them and all that. She said that even as a child, I never liked jewelries. I never liked any external like those kind of metal adornment. So before I got married, even watches, my straps are always leather or rubber. I don't wear the metallic ones. So before I got married, my wife even knew because when she came, I told her that CEO that sure you understand that this is what is going to be. He said, that why would I wear a ring? Blah 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 blah. I said no. That I don't wear jewelry. So if this is a deal breaker, let's discuss it now so that we know the way forward. After a while, she just because my wife loves me too much. So she just because she loves me, she just forsook the ring and chose okay, let's go ahead. Now when we got married, women now, when I know they stick to agreements, when I go bring up the topic again, they're like, why you not still wearing the ring? I said, okay, buy the ring and wear it, no problem. So I wore it for 2 weeks. When she saw the reaction about how women respond to men with married ring, no be person tell am. I said, where is the ring now? I kept it on the table. She said, no, I can't find it.
I'm
Na lie
looking
o,
at
na
the
say hide am.
expression on Candy's
Na say
face.
hide am o. When she see wetin happen, only her by herself say she know the. So sometimes it could be a magnet. It could be a magnet. Okay, let's welcome Justin officially and
Hello,
hey
Justin.
Justin.
And
that is
Maya.
something, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello,
Um,
Maria.
um, Candy, I can see the look on your face because me too. When the day he told me this story, I was like, eh? Because it was like when he wore his wedding ring. That was when he got hit on by girls the most.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, that girls were just hitting on him back to back to back once he had the
In
wedding ring
Africa.
on.
In
No,
Africa.
in Cape Town, in Africa, yeah, yeah, in Africa. So that they were
There are
hitting on
some
him. I was
major
like, okay, oh.
differences.
Yeah, maybe I
So
think most women, most potential side chicks, they feel that once you're married and settled, that you're responsible and you know how to incorporate them into your lives, into your life, which I still don't find it to be true. It's just an imagination they have. I don't know. I don't believe in that nonsense. So, for me,
Uh,
generally, I don't like jewelry.
okay, so
I
Justin, yes, Bumi.
I was gonna tell you my thing with rings.
Okay,
So
yeah,
when
go
we got
on.
married, we were young and poor, but we just had to buy what we could afford, and we decided, when we got older, when we start making money, we'll buy real decent rings. And then when that time came, I didn't want one. I'm actually really fashion conscious, and I felt like that whole fucking big engagement ring and wedding ring, it was the whole look on your hand that didn't go with other fashion looks. And I was like, oh, fuck this, I don't want it. So I
I'm
told him to
totally
buy
with
me
you on
diamond
that.
studs instead, and I fucking never regretted it. And my ex, I remember getting into a fight with him one time when we were Key West, I think. And he dramatically took off his ring, the old one, the cheap one, and threw it away. That he was mad at me or some shit. And I was really sad and like, oh. But then years later, I found out that this nigga was always cheating on me. So like he had never mattered. All he ever had to do when I wasn't around is take that ring off and put it in his pocket. So the idea that if you put a ring on a man's hand, sort of laid claim to him is just nonsense. The minute he walks out of your presence, he could take it off. So,
He could still wear it and commit. He could still wear the ring
Some
and
will even
do
bother to take
exactly.
it off.
He won't bother to take it. There's no need to take it off. He'll still do what he
in
wants to do.
Africa, no one will care. Yeah, in the West, they're very puritanical.
Yeah.
They act like infidelity is right up there with murder. They don't fucking play around. People will not. They don't think that shit is cool at all over here. But yes, in Africa, totally.
So
Because
Justin,
it's a
please.
thing that. Sorry, it's a thing that
Yeah,
if you are not available, you're more attractive. I don't know why, but that's just human nature, and that's all that whole
yeah,
ring
people
thing
like
is.
what isn't theirs. There's this thing
Exactly,
of wanting
Abby.
something that isn't yours. So Justin,
Honestly,
sorry, we keep calling your name and
unavailable,
oh,
really.
Bumi, I have to let Justin speak now. So Justin, please.
Uh,
Every time I call his name, you say something.
I didn't say anything.
So tell us
No,
how was your wedding? Was it like Bumi's
I
own,
just got to know.
cheap and cheerful,
I just
or
got to
expensive
know
like Candy?
about this program through my town forum. Somebody sent it in. My usual inquisitive way, I just hit the link and it showed up. I was like, "Whoa, this thing is real." So
Yeah.
actually, I look at the topic. You say, "What is excessive?" Maybe cost in wedding.
Yeah.
So for me, it's going to be a bit personal in the
Yes,
sense
that's what
that
we're
when I
asking.
got married, I had nothing. I had nothing. So it's not a case of whether it's low or sexy, and that's why I I respect my wife so much. So again, I had what's his name? The man with a red cap, what's his name? Is it consequence or what?
Yeah,
Saying that,
consequence.
Yeah, consequence.
saying that he can't spend all, even if he has the money, he can't spend it all on wedding. I am of the same view with him.
but I am a moderate kind of human being. I love good things. I sometimes I'm not the type that show off what I have or something. But when it concerns my wife, I try to make up for what I could not do for her when we were married younger.
Mm.
Like I celebrated her birthday, I think, with friends in 2019 before the pandemic, which she herself was like, he doesn't want that. He's also a very moderate kind of human being. Um, it depends on the individual, what you want to spend for your wedding and the budget you want. I like it when these days event managers or wedding organizer will ask you what is your budget. But when I was growing up, nothing like what is your budget. It is what you have
They just
you give to
created a
those.
budget for you.
Yes, it's what you have that you will give to
Wow.
people. I remember one of my uncles, he took a bottle of wine and some money to the chairman who is also going to chair the wedding party or ceremony, only to realize that what the man gave back is even below the wine and the money he took to the man. I got it. But these days, I'm not sure people do like that anymore. But they want to ask you what is your budget. I love that
I'm
language
sorry. What
because
was the significance of him taking wine and money to? Was he hiring the chairman?
no, it's a way like I'm going to share it so that he would bring in maybe when the time of giving gift or donation or whatever, he will do better. You understand it? That's the essence of that.
Oh, so you go
That
to
was,
someone you assume is richer than.
yes, to make the person the chairman of the occasion. So that was then. Me, I did what I did,
Oh,
but now that I feel that I'm a bit comfortable. I have that plan too. I will kind of, it's not like necessarily remarrying my wife, but I want to go to their village to do a 3 day ceremony of like Thanksgiving, repeating my kind of marriage. Because when I married the traditional way, I was the one picking the bottles because I didn't pay for the drinks when I brought it in because I want to fulfill all righteousness.
Hmm.
You get it? So it depends on the individual who wants to do his own thing. If you have the money and you want to spend it, why not spend it? But not after spending, you start starving the woman you got married to because it happens. And not because you have some free money that comes into you, maybe you're a businessman, or they pay you something lump sum in the office. Now, the woman or whoever wants to do the wedding decides to spend it. Then after wedding, what happens? Are we still going to live like we did? Then again, Mr. Zeron, on your who talks about wedding ring. I wore my wedding ring for a period of time. I lost it so many times. I keep buying back. So because I am not the type that keeps things on my body, like wristwatch. I don't wear wristwatch, but I have a lot. I wear sometimes the thing will the hook will be lost. So for some reasons,
okay.
I don't so much wear wedding rings or ornaments on my body, even the necklace or something. But talking about whether cheating and wedding ring is a different thing, I want to talk because it says somebody who wants a woman that is after you doesn't care whether you have a wedding ring or not. You get it? It will come after you.
In
And different
Africa, you people should
cultures.
stop saying that. Bring that shit over here, they will shock you. in Africa.
No, not only in
People
Africa.
care in other parts of the world.
I'm in US. I'm in
They
US
care.
now.
They care. Yeah. Go and talk to a white
They
man
might
with a wedding
care.
ring
The
on.
people that I see
Abuse
might
it.
care so much. They can discuss about it. Are you married? And once they know you are married, yes, you demand, because maybe you want to go out with them, or maybe they want to go out with you, they will go to the next level. What's the next level? Finding a way to make the relationship comfortable for one another.
I
You
think
get it?
what
No,
Bumi
but
is saying
they'll be.
is very sorry. I think what Bumi is saying is that is amongst Africans. You can't go to a white person with your wedding ring and be like, hey, hello, well, how far? What's up? You can't do that.
No, I mean,
I
we've
think
seen
that
celebrities.
am I right?
We've seen male
Yeah.
celebrities.
No. What I'm saying.
We've
Huh?
seen male
Let me
celebrities.
shock you. A
No, you
man
can't shock me.
cannot
Look,
talk
I'm
to
not
a
saying that it
woman.
doesn't happen here. We had Ashley Madison scandal. There
Oh,
are extramarital affairs going on all the time, but it is extremely frowned upon here. That shit has to be under the ground. And you guys are
They
talking
celebrate it
casually
in
like
I
it
want
Nigeria.
to
doesn't matter if
correct
you're
some.
married.
They
I want
celebrate
to
it in
It
correct
Nigeria.
matters
something.
here. You can
I
you
want
be
to
destroyed
correct
in
something.
Nigeria because you committed adultery? No, but over here it's a
They
big
celebrate it in
fucking deal,
Nigeria.
right? Yes. So don't talk like we have the same culture in all these places. We really don't at all.
Let me come in. When they talk about Africans don't respect things, I have a dislike to it. We are very respectable people. We are very cultural people. You know, we look at the genesis of these things. The English people, if so to speak, if I said so, if I say English people, you know, I'm referring to foreigners or
The West.
abroad or people who are in the Western world.
Mhm.
They tend to like let's leave this in the wear their wedding ring. They go out there, they show it off that one man, one wife, they're married, but they have different mistresses somewhere. We have so many stories of that. The recent one, who would have thought the Bill Gates family will be involved in that kind of scandal
I just
recently?
explained there's no place in the world where they can say that extramarital affairs are not going on. No one is denying that happens. They're saying that culturally, it is
But
not as
Africans
accepted
are real.
outside of Africa. It's not as accepted as it is
Yes,
in Africa.
I want to
This is
explain
literally the
the
first
reality.
generation of monogamy. So of course it's more acceptable there. It is not as acceptable in the West. It just isn't. It doesn't mean it's not happening, but it's not as acceptable. That's a fact. That's not even up for debate. That's just a fact.
Yeah, that is not as pronounced as that of the West, or the West is not as pronounced as that of the Africans. That does not make us
You're the
we
one
are not
assuming that
good.
I'm saying that means something is wrong with us or we're inferior or something, like they're better than us. You're the one inferring all of that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm simply saying that culturally, they frown on infidelity in the West a lot more than they do in Africa for historical reasons. One isn't good and one isn't bad. It just is how it is.
Yeah, because some of these things are a kind of they brought it to us. Our marriages are sacred, and how do we say it is different? Because I was asked, "You are married for how many years?" I told them, and they were like, "Is it that my wife doesn't do things that would have made me to send her away?" I said, "No. Even when we quarrel, we settle. But it's not wearing ornament that makes me to be honorable in my marriage." That's what I'm saying. You get it?
What?
As an
No,
African,
literally
we
what
come
you
out
said. You said you
like
want to send her
what my
away.
brother says.
Nobody in the
Because
West is
the
speaking that kind
ring
of
thing
language.
with the
You're
wife.
making it seem like we're the same. We're not.
No. He's trying to.
What Westerner is
You're
going to say
saying the
that
same
I can't
thing.
send my wife away?
Bumi,
No, we are saying the
Bumi,
same thing.
you're
I'm
saying
not
the
against
same
you.
thing.
We are saying the same
He's
thing
saying
now.
the same thing you're saying.
Please, I'm not against you. I'm not taking it that you are this or that. We are trying to understand ourselves. Why things like he said. The other man said, "Is it Bumi?" No. Omonye, who says he
No,
discussed
Ron. Yeah.
He discussed the ring issue with the wife. I never discussed with my wife. You understand it? He's a gentleman. I think it's nice in that direction to discuss it. But my wife, my
I'm
ring
not
is
trying to
sitting on
argue
my
with
table
you.
there.
I'm just making the point that we should stop
Okay,
talking
let
as
me
though
explain.
these cases
Let
are
me
the same.
explain where
That's
there's
all.
a
They're
divide.
not.
Let me explain where there's a divide.
Yeah, you can make
Actually,
a
what the
point,
discussion.
you will stop it, but sometimes some things are ingrained in us. I have my wedding ring. I can show you now. It's sitting on my table. Did I remember? I can put it on and go out. It's not intentional. You get it? But these things are things that in the West, maybe they grew them or they trained them in that way. And that's why they keep it. It's expensive. Wedding rings are expensive. I see what they buy it in the West. You get it?
This
They
isn't just
cherish
about
it so
marriage,
much.
though. We know that we're culturally different. So, of course, when it comes to marriage, too, we're going to be culturally different. I'm just saying, when we make these points, let's clarify. We're on 3 different continents right now. Things that I can say that are true here are not going to be true in Africa. Just like things that you're saying in Africa are not necessarily going to be true for America or for Europe. That was all I was
Yeah.
trying to say. And that holds whether we're talking about marriage, school, anything.
No. What the
Yeah,
bone
I
of
agree with
contention?
you. I'm also helping you to clarify why it is not holding in this place or why it's holding in this place. You see?
We're saying
So
the
that's
same
what,
thing. We're
like
all
this
saying the
marriage
same
thing you
thing.
talk about. What is excessive? That's what we are looking at. It's an individual thing as far as I'm concerned. You get
It's
I
it?
just
don't know
that
why we're
in one
still
Then
talking about
society,
it's
it.
also how
in
you
one
hold the
society it's
value.
not done openly. The other society is done openly,
Right.
but it's still the same thing.
I covered a wedding. I
Not
covered a wedding
exactly.
recently.
Nigerian wives expect to be cheated on. American wives do not expect to be cheated on. It happens, but it's not the same. You can
But we
stop.
have a
And there
lot
are
of
reasons why.
but we have
Most Americans, most Nigerians come from monogamous, polygamous families. These things are going to take a while. So it's not a
no.
criticism, but it's just a fact. Don't
No. Even
Nigerian
if we take
women
a
do not
sample
experience
pool,
marriage the way American women do. Let's not lie.
I'm
Come
coming.
on.
Even if we take a sample pool,
American women in church doing prayer warrior so that their husband won't cheat. None of that shit
I'm
is
coming.
going on.
Bobby,
Unless it's mountain
wait.
of fire on top of side chick. Stop it,
Bobby,
please.
even if
You
we take a
cannot.
sample pool, wait, even if
Do
we
not
take a
excuse
sample pool,
African men.
wait, even if we take a sample pool from American celebrities alone, if we line up 10 and we ask what has happened in their marriages, you find that it's still prevalent
Actually,
amongst
you're
them.
wrong. There's very little cheating going on with celebrities because celebrities have money. If they're tired of you, they'll just divorce you. But ordinary Americans, yes, there's cheating going on. But I'm saying it's not on the level that it is in Africa.
And the
There's no debate.
and the politicians, if we don't agree with celebrities, politicians, okay? It's everywhere.
Politicians, no, politicians live a completely different life. To be a politician in America, they're so puritanical. I don't understand this. If you are divorced, you are not a politician in anywhere. Do you understand? That's how serious these people take it.
Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton,
You have to
okay?
be, stop it. You have to be married and you have to be married to only one woman, no divorce, no scandal. That's why it becomes a scandal when somebody like Bill Clinton cheats. They have the scandal in Nigeria that a president slept with someone.
But he's still
These are
married.
completely different cultures.
But he's still
That's
married,
why it
isn't
was
he?
a scandal. That's why it was a scandal in the first place. Does anybody
Okay.
care about your marital status in Nigeria before you get married? How many wives does Buhari have? Has there
One.
ever even been a monogamous Nigeria president?
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay,
talking
let's
about. Culturally, they take it very,
One.
very seriously. I'm not even joking. Very, very
Okay.
seriously.
I
In a
am
way
a
we do
Nigerian.
not in Africa.
I am a Nigerian. I am still with
Okay,
my
let him
wife.
finish his point.
You get
Okay,
it?
your
Not
personal
everybody.
experience.
Culturally, there are people who have more than one wife.
Please, Bumi,
It's not what you call a
Bumi
trend.
will come to you. We are going to come back to you. Let him finish. We'll come back to you. Please. Okay. Sorry, sir. You can continue. Bumi gets triggered by this.
No, it's good. It's good. We are making a
Okay.
point. But I'm
Okay,
happy
sir.
he
Thank you.
says
Continue.
they have it everywhere. You understand it? But coming back to what we are discussing, it
I've been
depends on
Okay,
the
so
muted since.
individual.
Oh, were you
Ahmed always
talking?
trying to excuse themselves.
Were you talking?
Not
No, I was trying to
who me?
talk, but I was muted.
Oh, okay, okay. He's still talking. Let him finish his point.
Yes,
Then we'll
please,
go
sir.
So
to
what I'm
Continue.
Kayode.
saying, if by our discussion, what it says about what is excess is an individual, is an individual thing. By occasion, most people got married when they were nobody. And by the time they start growing and becoming somebody, you see, the lifestyle start changing. Those things you accepted before, because you don't have anything on you, before you know it, the true color of yourself start coming out. You get it? Maybe what you be buying for your wife will show your new level. And that's how, like somebody will tell me about love. They will say Africans don't love. But we love very well. Why? It might not be in our lips to say I love you every minute, every second, like the Western world do. But we love with what we give out. We love with what we share. You get it? So weddings, I don't know, is the English wedding you are talking about our traditional wedding? If the two, some prefer the traditional wedding to spend so much in their wives, to their wife's family and all that. Then when it comes to the church wedding, they reduce what they want to do. I've seen people spend so much. They come to the church, get a blessing, and they move on. You get it?
Yeah,
That's what I
but
talk
the
about
question is,
budget.
sir, the question is, what is excessive? So yes, you want to honor your wife's family and everything. You don't have a house that you're living in. You don't have a car. Maybe you don't even have a job, but you've gotten a woman you want to get married to her and you want to honor her family. And then you're spending money you don't have to honor these people. Does that make any sense? So
Well,
these are
yeah,
the things that
To
we're
to
discussing.
somebody, it's relative. It's relative. To somebody,
yeah.
it's relative. To another, it's like it's a no-no area. That's what I'm trying to bring to us. There's no hard line to these things. I've seen
No,
somebody who just hit money. He bought a Mercedes, and the next thing he go and marry. By the time they come back, January, February, no money. Because the foundation of your source of your income is not solid. And they didn't stay long. Within a year, 2 years, they separate. But he has done what he wants to do. One in town kind of wedding.
wow.
You get
Oh,
it?
God.
So to somebody, you can go and lavish your money on that. That's why I keep saying I demand on consequences. Says he cannot spend all he has on wedding because he wants to do something excessive. It's individual thing. And what is excessive for you might not be excessive for another person. But life is about
Well,
moderation. And
I,
when you
I,
talk
I, I
about
completely
who
get
makes
that. We always try to sort of get to a kind of resolution on the show. So we'll discuss everything and say,
okay,
okay, fine. Everybody do what you want to do. Of course, nobody's dictating anything to anybody. But if we put our heads together, this would make more sense. Because if you don't have a job, you don't have a house that you're living in, you don't have a car, and yet you look at someone's child and say, okay, let's go and let's join our lives together. Then you don't only say let's join our lives together, you now say let's join it in the biggest way possible, where other people pay for it, or that we go and borrow money and do it. Because then it's like,
Well,
if people are,
well, Abby, obviously that makes no sense. Like that is just being stupid. I'm
but
sorry.
I'm
That's
telling
just
you, Candy, there are a lot of people like that who
yes,
don't
I
have
know,
anything.
I know that there are, but like you said, excessive is a relative word. What it is very very relative. You know,
No,
like
that's why we chose the word excessive. It means it's
That's why we said
excessive.
excessive, because
Yes,
if
because it means
someone who doesn't
excessive.
have a house Does he have accommodation? Is still living in one room that his father has given him in the house? Does he have
No
a job?
savings.
And no savings, nothing, and yet he wants several million pounds wedding or
Well, that's
like, are you
definitely
okay?
right.
Are you so yes, it is relative. He might go, oh yes, well, that's what I want. But who is footing the bill for this? And then after that wedding, how do you sustain? Because what we're hearing many times is people will go ahead and do that wedding. They will have the wedding of their dreams that they've always wanted, but then there's no marriage after. 3 months after, the
Exactly.
woman has packed out. 6 months after, she's left. So what was the point of all that shenanigans? Only for the thing to pack up
Do
in.
you want to know?
Yes, so
Let me go and scatter this place for you and make it
let
more
us scatter it.
interesting. You see this thing, eh? If I was a man, knowing the shit I know today, that is really the single best way to determine who to even marry. Because I don't know how weddings are today, but traditionally they are for the woman. They're a day to pamper a woman, make her look like a princess just before you turn her into a maid for the rest of her life. Literally, it's like a bribe. Come here, wear this pretty dress. We're all gonna dot on you for one day, and then after that, you have to come and look after us. And so there's this secret passive aggressive shit that goes on between men and women where a woman will make a man spend money because she's unhappy about her role in life and in the family and how much more she has to do than him. It's different now. Things are better. Things are a little more balanced. But this is the history of it. So if you want to get married, you have to. I feel like you need to be realistic. How much of it is for the guy? The guy, if he's a good guy and he's honest, he's just in love. He just wants to marry you. It's very rare for a guy to really want all the trimmings. It happens, but it's rare. It's really women that want it. And the reason we want it is because we've been told our whole lives that is our day. Weddings are for us. Weddings are for women. All those things are for women, and it's a deal. Like, we will treat you like a princess because after today, we know that it is you that's going to be taking care of us. There you go. It's getting better, but really, this was the origins of all this nonsense.
Well, I'm not married, so I can't. I've been on the path, but
Oga
I
Kayode
never
is
went all the way
escaping.
through.
Yeah, I have to say
Oga
I
Kayode is
do agree
escaping
with
the
Bumi
interview. He's escaping.
because
Oga Kayode is escaping this interview. He hasn't said
Okay,
anything. He's just laughing.
let Candy make her point. Then PK will come on. Okay, Candy, what were you saying?
I was saying Bumi has a point there because from my experience when we were getting married, Mike couldn't care less. Like he was just
it's not for them.
he was just kind of came along for the ride
And
for the most part.
it's like a bribe originally. That's all it was, honestly.
So
It's gone
PK,
better.
oh yeah, unmute yourself. You cannot escape this one. Unmute
Okay,
yourself.
everybody mute. Everybody
Tell us
mute.
about your wedding. What were the things that you did? Were you a groomzilla?
No, so when I got married, actually, I got married in the eyes of all my friends and family. I was too young to be getting married, and I did not know what I was doing. But I chose to get married at that point in time because I used to be like one of those 100%, totally in love with God and church and all that. So I wanted to be able to have sex without feeling like I'm sinning. That's why I quickly got married.
I like you. I need to confess why you got married. You got married for the sex.
Yeah,
And then when you got married, did you have the sex?
allow me to learn. So the reason why I quickly was interested in signing whatever, in fact, the very first girl I ever had sex with, I was trying to marry her secretly, just so that I can have unlimited sex. I was still in university there. She was my first girlfriend. If we're planning to go to the registry, in Ife, right? Very secretly, so that I can now come back and have unlimited sex. But somehow the plan did not happen. So the next person I met I had graduated then, and I thought, yeah, I can sign this deal, no problem. Where's Ikoyi registry or registry or anyone? Just give me the contract. Share. After that, I can have sex in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and come back for lunch and have sex again. And I'm not sinning against anybody. The answer to that at that point in time was yes. I was like, bring the contract. So at that point in time, my aunties came. They came to my father. Don't let him marry this person. Me. By the time I came to tell them, I had gone to the registry already. So it wasn't a question of don't let him marry. I don't marry already. You know. That was the story of my own. So I had married. I'd gone to registry in July. Then we now started telling everybody. Then we now started planning church wedding in December. So that's the story of my own.
And you were having the sex by that time because you were married.
I was beginning to realize gradually at that point in time that I had signed something that is fraudulent, that all married men eventually find out they have signed up for a very, especially when you were thinking that it would be unlimited sex. You now find out that you have been defrauded, right? And now I hope you understand that I'm different from my friends as at then, because I was a totally one man, one woman, you are 100% in. So for me, it was a bigger fraud because all my other friends were getting 50% at home, 20 here, 30 there, and they are still happily married. Me, I was like totally, in fact, I know quick get sense. That's the summary of my life. I was at Jepota for a very long time. I know quick get sense. It took me a long time. Now I just get sense. In fact, I can't say apparently I had a gap between my 20s and now that I'm in my 50s. It's now that I'm trying to now leave out the gap. So when you see me doing all these things, it's the gap in my life that I'm trying to fill out now. So that's the story of my own. I think people do their own. They did their own. I'm just doing my own voice now.
So, I can't breathe. Help me.
I'm pulling the horse before the cat.
Now I get down.
Kayode, Mr. Kayode.
Yes.
I can identify with you.
Thank you very much. I didn't know they want me to come and be telling you.
It's not only in sex. It's not only in sex. Some of us men who were very good, who were brought up very well, have missed.
It's the biggest mistake of my life.
I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry for laughing at your pain.
Some of our social lives is zero.
I laugh at myself too because I used to be the one that would say no sex before marriage. Now, if I meet any young person, I'm like, do not ever drive a car out of the lot without test driving it. Forget that nonsense. Because there is only one contract that I know of in the world that they'll tell you, do not test drive it, do not check what's in it, just sign it. And when you sign it, whatever you meet there is what you must stay with for the rest of your life. There's no other contract like that. None. Except this thing they call marriage, right? So that's one side. Number two, right? My great-grandfather, I've seen his photos, did not wear a wedding band. My grandfather did not wear a wedding band. Then they now made a mistake and educated my father's generation. They now came with this whole nonsense of wedding. The wedding band, where is that even in the Bible? Let's assume that they are using Christian. Where is it in the Bible that you should wear wedding band? None. They just came with this nonsense. They came with this nonsense thing of people who came on a boat without visas to Africa, took over the land, right? I started telling my grandfather that he doesn't know what he's been doing, and my great-grandfather that they will now train my father to think like them. Meanwhile, my father had a PhD. He never wore a wedding band. So
I thought Bumi was angry.
Bumi and Kayode are the ones that triggered today.
And the ones that made themselves this Christmas.
It really vexed Kayode.
Absolutely nothing. All the time that they are saying it's absolutely nonsense. My grandfather did not wear. It's my father's generation that spoke it for us. Now we are totally messed up. because my great grandfather, they were all polygamists. Now my father went and started something that cannot be sustained.
So, Kayode, I take it that you spent a lot of money on the wedding ring, right?
Which wedding ring? I asked my auntie who was there if she could buy wedding ring, then she bought. Then I think we used because the reality at that time, if they had insisted on wedding band, I would not have married. I don't have the money to marry. My salary can only buy me a pair of shoes for the month when I went and got married. Now I was the most stupid guy in the age of my family. In fact, some of my colleagues at work, right? Some of them could not afford the transportation to come and attend the wedding. They were just starting out. And they were so sure. So my extended family members, those senior aunts, they were sure that they had used jazz on me. They did not know that it was just sex that was driving me. Well, sex and the fact that I don't want to do it.
Oh God, Karen has killed me.
I didn't want to be a sinner, and then, but now look at me now, become a rascal. So the thing that should have done,
it's like that you use the vex of that marriage. You're not using it.
No, it's just look. You can only be defrauded once. Shame on you. You defraud me twice. Shame on me. Don't bring that nonsense of a wedding.
You know that you are not the first man to tell me. You're not the first man to tell me that I got married because I heard that that women from where she comes from, that their Kerewa game is strong. I now married the woman. Kerewa, I know see.
So you have signed a contract based on a fraudulent assumption, and then they told you that now that you signed the contract, that you can never get out of it, otherwise you go to hell. Bring the hell. Nonsense.
Because you're already living in hell anyways, technically.
Which kind of that's like telling a teacher their reward is heaven. A teacher's reward is heaven. You know?
So Mr. Kayode, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, consequence. Let's ask.
Okay. If you married based, if the reason for marrying was because you love each other, can sex be taught in such marriage?
It can.
Can you teach your partner sex?
Yes, it can. It can. But here's the thing, right? The question is, it's not a one. So there's an assumption here that both parties are reasonable and that they want the same thing. You do what you don't understand.
This is why I asked specifically that if you married for love, okay, because I think the problem in your case is, like, according to, if I hear you very right, you married because you want to have sex.
Me,
that
my
seems
own
reason. Because you want to have sex.
Yes.
And that kind of negates to what extent you can really place love in this case. So I'm now saying, if you have found a woman and both of you were really into each other and you love each other and you marry, and then after marrying you find out that your partner is not really top notch when it comes to matching your sex prowess or sex drive and all this. But can you teach your partner how to be better sexually?
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah, very possible.
Yes, it's possible.
They're not always story to not always. Most of the time.
No, if the person is it's about the person being willing, and the person being on the same page with you. So, if the person is on the same page,
I disagree.
That was my own reason. But remember that the other party sometimes want to get married because they're under pressure. All their siblings have married, and so when they look at when people get to that point, anybody they see. So, for example, let me switch it now. On the woman's side, when she's under pressure in her society, when everybody else has married, when she's attending other people's weddings and she's bridesmaid, and people are looking at her that, oh, you're bridesmaid here again, right? Every man she meets that time is measured according to, does he look like a father? Does he look like the kind of person I can present? Not the person I'm in love with, though. Does he look like the kind of person I can present as husband? Can he speak in front of my family and they'll be like, wow, that's my husband? That's how she starts to look at everybody.
That's so right. That's true. That's
if you
true.
don't match that, if you don't match that, she will not fall in love with you. Even if her heart is going, she'll pull her heart back. Wait, which kind of nonsense are you taking me to? Find me a guy who can speak to my family, who they'll be like, wow, that's not her husband. Because at that point in time, that's the most important thing to her. So
I totally agree with you, because that was exactly the reason why I got engaged the second time. He fitted the bill.
For very selfish reasons. That's the reason why people get married. Very, very selfish reasons. I have never met somebody who said that, oh, I looked at the other person and I thought, oh, I should join my life with that person so that I can help that person be a better person. Big lie. Everybody needs,
and I did, and I regretted it.
You know, well, basically, you also said earlier on, Bumi, that you were.
Although I'm unusual.
No, but you also said that you had gotten to the point where you decided that you want to basically just start a life. Forget about love. That's actually what most women end up doing.
But I was a blessing to him. He wasn't a blessing to me. He had no money. He had nothing.
Time, right?
He wasn't interesting. He wasn't loving. He was like my first child. I literally raised him. But it doesn't matter, because I'm unusual. I'm the exception. What you said is actually true. Most people marry for selfish reasons.
Look at the person. Like this person, I'm just particular about the fact that when I present him to my friend, and everybody has the things that are important to them. It is more important for some people that what you say about them, right, is a big deal for some. So maybe some of you here, you don't care about what people say. Then your value is secret. Right? There are some people that 15 minutes of fame is the most important event in their life. And from then, it does not matter whether the marriage does not last 24 hours. As long as the whole people that came that day were saying, wow, did you see the cake? Did you see how many cows they killed? Did you see the jewelry? Did you see the car that they arrived in? Did you see the gift bags that they gave? That's the most important thing to some people. So you can't now be asking why they didn't buy house. House is not important. It is just that 15 minutes of fame, which is why people do whatever is necessary to appear on TV. Then that 15 minutes of fame is all that is. They need to take their whatever is necessary for them to get that 15 minutes of fame is the most important thing in their life. And that's why you see the kind of crazy.
Kayode, I actually agree with you, because when I got engaged the second time, I was very much into, you know what, everybody's disturbing me to get married. This guy obviously likes me a lot. He's ready to commit. He's a bit comfortable. I have a job. Okay, let's get it on. But where we started to have problems was, I realized that even though I was like, you know what, I don't really want to know what's happening with the wedding and all of that, I still had some things that I felt needed to be done. Like, it's the girl's family that chooses the wedding date. We weren't allowed to choose the date. It's the girl's family that, like, I felt I should have been able to choose my ring. Because for me, the ceremony and the party was not the important part. My ring was important, because I felt that's the only thing from that day that I will be having on me constantly. I won't be able to wear the dress again. I won't be able to wear the shoes again. I most likely I won't have the flowers again. None of all the other things that people were like, 450,000 for flowers to put in the cathedral. We were deeper life, and we were told that we had to have the wedding at the Church of Ascension or something, one famous church in Yaba like this, and we had to buy flowers for the church. And I'm looking at the amount of money that were being called, and I'm like, my engagement ring already I knew was panda, because as soon as I'm doing dishes, it turns green. So I knew it was fake. It wasn't so I was already like irritated with the fact that the thing that should have been the most important thing was not even in the rating at all. So it was easy for me to walk away and say, I'm not getting married again. And when we're looking at because again, just like you said, for some people, you see, it doesn't matter whether they don't have a job, whether is that momentary everybody's looking at me, everybody's, so a few people are jealous of me, a few people are like, ah, God, when, hey, God will see these people, hey, God, when, all of that, and that's all that matters to them, and they don't care if the marriage actually collapses 10 minutes after the ceremony. They don't care. We've heard of ceremonies where the groom will slap the bride at the reception, and you're like, ah, wedding that's how many hours old, and you hear all kinds of things. You hear of where the bride goes away with the best man and doesn't come back home again, doesn't come back, and all kinds of stuff. These are stories from all over the world, not just Africa, but all over the world that we hear. And it's just
Yeah,
crazy how people make the decisions on what they want to do in their weddings. So Maya, you're the only one who hasn't actually told us what was your wedding experience like, and what was the most important thing to you that you were like, I don't care how much it costs, I want it and I must get it.
Well,
Maya?
sorry,
Maria,
I have to
Mar-
like. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
okay, we can't see you. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, please pardon me. My hair, I'm on my hair
It's
just
fine, it's
like.
fine, keep talking.
Okay. For me, um, it was also no. I was getting married very early, and for me then, I just asked my mom because I started dating my husband when I was 20, then about to be 25, we got married and like that. So I asked my mom, I said, am I okay to get married? He wanted us to get married since I was 23. And I asked my mom, I said, is it okay for me to get married? And she was like, yes, yes, yes. And she was like, I just want, because I'm the last born of the house, just wanted um, our baby to get married, and that was it for her. She wanted to do that all our children were married, these mothers things and everything like that. So for me, I was just going into it because maybe though I liked my husband, but I was just going into it as per, okay, let me do wedding for my mother, or let me allow my mother to do wedding first, to showcase whatever. But at a point, I realized that I got interested in it, and I also I just wanted a home. I just felt home was very important to me. That not this marriage. In fact, on my wedding day, after the traditional marriage, the next day was the wedding. I just wanted to sleep. I was tired. I wasn't even interested. I didn't have much pictures from my wedding. My own was that, are we done? Let me go home and sleep. So it wasn't anything for me for that wedding. Just about, I think my husband was really interested in, okay, oh, our rings, our pictures and everything, and the way he put the ring on his head, as if I thought that now he will never take off the ring from his hands, because he was so particular about it. No, our ring will be this or this. After 5 years of the wedding, we'll change, we'll do again, and all those things. When I entered the marriage, oh, we the ring now sef he doesn't even wear it. He came in from Kaduna. I didn't see the ring on his hand, and I asked him. He said, oh, I forgot it in Kaduna. So now,
So after all that stress.
in fact, I just said I answer on his matter for the ring because it was small, small. The one time he just came, he begged me, he said, please, can I be taking the ring off at uh, weekends? Can I be taking the ring off weekends? That when I'm going to work weekdays, I'll wear it. I said, fine, it's okay. because we've not really stayed together. He's a military doctor,
Mhm.
and is not being posted to where I am. So like now he's in Kaduna. Then he was in Kano. So he would tell me, and after that he said, because he's a gynecologist, he said in the theater when he wears the hand glove, is not comfortable. He's
Yeah.
not comfortable with the ring and hand glove. That please, when he's going for surgeries, he won't be wearing it. I said, no problem. No problem, no problem. The guy does he doesn't
He
even
has
do it
removed the ring,
anymore.
Kabadaya.
And so,
That's
so
interesting.
I don't think
Was there anything
I
in
don't really see.
particular that after you found yourself liking the concept
Hello?
of, oh, let's get married, was there anything in particular that you just realized that, I really, 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 really want this thing? Me, oh, if I don't have it, I'm going to be very upset. Was there anything?
No, 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 no. For my wedding, no. I think maybe I was too naive at that time. No, I just my own was everything just come and go. But I was only scared that will I be able to. I thought there was a pattern to how they do the marriage. So I was scared that will I be able to do the marriage. I think at that point it was me and Ron's wife that were always discussing the thing. I thought there was a pattern of how they do it. So I'll be telling her my fears that I don't know if I'll be able to how will I know that this is what I'm supposed to do for the man? How will I, as in, it was just a whole package I wanted to quickly unwrap and see. And
Mm.
I remember then that it was I was this church girl too. And I remember then that
Sure.
once it's evening, I'll tell him I want to go home because I used to feel just the way we were dating that I'll run home early hours. So I still felt like running home that my dad was going
And
to
then you have to remind
hold
you that you were
me.
married to him.
Yes.
You can't
Consequence.
run,
That's
no. This is your house.
you know
Consequence. This is the type
that's a
of girl
problem.
that
Then he
this
will
is the type
tell
of girl that is teachable. Oh. This one, can you see that she wanted to learn? She was like, I don't know what to do. Teach me. So when you want to, just make sure you. Okay, I think you got the rest of that. If you don't get it, forget about it.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
forget about it. Forget about it. I don't get it. Just
Oh
forget
my
about it.
days. I think, to be honest, if I think the one that sticks the most in my brain, because my third engagement, I really wanted to be married. And I wanted to be married because this was a man that I felt loved me selflessly and everything. I wanted to be able to love him back and everything. So that one was not really an issue. But the second engagement, that was an issue because I know that what made me walk away, them choosing the dates, them determining what was going to happen and all of that, that was irritating me. But what made me walk away was the fact that I knew that my wedding night, I was not going to spend it with my husband. And I was like,
Wow.
say what now? You mean the wedding night? The night that is supposed to be the wedding night, and we were like doing a Christian
No.
relationship, no touching, no nothing. So me, I'm just like, yeah, I can't wait. And then they tell me, I know, the wedding night
I'm
is
like,
going to go back
seriously.
to be with his family because he's leaving for this. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't do again. So did I want to get married
Ah,
for sex? Not completely, but it was a very, very important factor in what I was doing. That I was like, this is not going to work for me. So yeah, it's crazy.
You know
You
what she
know,
was saying about you know what she was saying about running back home and all that. It
yeah.
happens to a lot of newlywed ladies because once they come in, they start assuming, they start thinking that it's about what their father taught them. not knowing that they now have a new
I'm
system,
telling
like that,
you.
like your husband is your new father that you have to follow his law,
My
and
I
sometimes
husband's
don't
when you
not
like
my
have
new
that
that,
father.
way. I don't want my
No,
husband
it's
to be my
reality.
dad.
my
No,
husband's not my new father.
You have
he's
to
not
follow
my
the
father.
daddy.
No, 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 no,
Oh
no,
no, no,
no.
wait, Candy, he's not your father, but you're going to tell him what your father was doing at home, right?
No, I've never told my husband what my
No,
father was
just
doing.
no, it's not personal. I'm just the logic.
No,
He's
No,
he's not
what do you mean?
he's
What do
not
you mean?
now. For instance, some ladies they get married, right? Like this
Yeah.
Maya was saying that sometimes she has to do
where's
certain things that
Bumi?
she was used to doing when she was at her father's house, right? But she
Yeah.
keeps forgetting that she's now married, or sometimes she does things because that's what her father expects of her,
Okay.
not knowing
So
that she's now in a new system.
no, that I never had that
Exactly.
mind thought. Because for one thing, I stopped living with my parents since I was 16. I've not
Okay,
lived
so yours
in the
is
same
different.
home with my parents,
Mhm.
and
Uh,
I married at the age of 35, so I've been very, very independent for
okay,
many years before getting
so
married.
so
So
yours is a totally different case,
yes,
totally different case. But it happens to most women who marry from their dad's homes. It happens to them a
Yes.
lot. So it takes a
I
lot of
have to
mental
be home
consciousness to adjust.
very early.
Yeah, I
Consequence,
get
you've
the
been
whole
quiet.
mental adjustment, but he's still
Mm.
not my father. He's my husband,
no,
not
absolutely.
my father.
I don't
It's
even
just
want to go into
it's a
that line
very
of.
No,
You know
icky
what?
he's
thought.
a
I don't
daddy.
even have the energy to go
Ugh.
into that line of argument with you. I don't even have that energy at
No,
all. I just,
no,
I decided
even
that
if you have energy,
2022, I'm
even if
going
you
to be
have
happy.
energy, like if you say
2022,
if you say he's the captain of the ship in our house, I get that, but he's not my father. God, I mean, come on, how can you be calling your husband your father? He's your partner, he's your lover, and then your father. I beg you, I
when
beg,
you
I beg, I
were
beg.
when you were with your father was the head of the home, Abi.
And now,
Wait. Are we talking of what are we talking? Are we talking of daddy or father? Because there's a difference between who's your daddy
if he's my
Uh,
daddy, I get that one. He's my daddy,
and then there's also daddy.
but he's not my father.
Because
Kathy is like, oh God, no.
there's daddy. So please be clear. Don't be confusing people here.
He's my daddy. If you say your husband is your daddy, he's my zaddy. You know what I'm saying? But he's not my father. He's not my
I
father.
really don't have the energy, like really. I don't have that energy today.
There's a
I,
difference between
I do
daddy.
want to say, going back to the original topic.
Yeah.
So I feel like because Mike and I had done a small wedding when we first got married.
Mhm.
We did a very, very small wedding. It was like just like 15 people. And the only reason why we had the big wedding because my parents insisted on it. And
Mhm.
the stipulation was that if they were willing to pay for it, they can have their big wedding.
Of course.
So
Of course.
if not for if that wasn't the case, I would never have had that kind of a wedding because there's no way we could have afforded it. Like our
Candy,
there's no
as
way.
I am like this, as I am like this, if Mrs. Idowu says, eh, if somehow somebody knocks me over the head with a club and I decide, oh God, I'm going to get married, and I carry a man home, I'm like, mommy, this is my want to marry. You must have a wedding. I'll be like, if you are willing to pay, I will do it. Just tell me the day, give me the clothes, and I'll be there. Someone wants to pay for wedding for me, and I'll say no. Am I crazy? No, pay. I'll be
Okay.
there. I will show up and I will enjoy and have a grand time. It's not my
Okay.
dime. So
When-
nobody will ever say, oh, well, I don't think that anybody should say, if parents say we will pay for the wedding and go, no, 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 I don't. Please enjoy it. Why not?
You also have to try and
It's a
understand
blessing.
things about weddings in Africa. So,
Yeah.
for example, as far as your parents are concerned, it's almost like to say it in Yoruba, le wa ji mi lomo gbe,
Right.
right?
And
Yeah.
I'm an only girl too.
Exactly.
I'm the only
What
girl.
are you
You
talking
So
cannot,
about?
That's the
cannot,
reason
your parents
now.
cannot be answering questions like, where is Candy? And then they say she got married
Eh?
without anybody attending a ceremony. That means
Did
that
you
they are
say only girl? Candy.
exactly.
In
So,
fact, I'm surprised that they only
that
spend
means that
60,000.
they're hiding
I'm
something.
surprised.
They'll
That's what it
block the
means.
streets for 1
Yeah.
week.
Only
So that's the
girl.
Block
reason.
the streets.
Also, is the reason why some people, a lot of people in Nigeria in particular, I can't speak of all of Africa. It is the reason why that 15 minutes of fame is really important, especially
Mm.
to the women. Now, if you give a man the option between getting married and not getting married, and there's no consequence to it, a man will normally, most men will choose, I don't want to get married.
Mm.
The
They
reason for
actually
them
did a
not
poll. They did a poll, an American poll. This thing,
yeah,
Joseph, it's not a Nigerian thing. They
well,
did
so
an American
exactly.
poll last year
I
that
try not
whether
to
men
ever
will
use
get
the word
married.
all. So
Yes.
the marriage thing is something that the woman wants. Basically, in fact, the man just goes along because, like, all right, if you love me, you'll do this for me. Right? The man does not usually care whether it's big or small. Now, of course, again, it's not all. There's the man who also has certain complexes from time
Yeah.
immemorial that now needs to show that, first of all, so when they talk about the one who bought a Mercedes and went and quickly got married, you should understand that he might have dealt with some past of
That's
people
true.
of being put down because he had nothing. And so the moment he had something, he needs that 15 minutes of fame and he's going to reach for what he can't afford. That just comes with the fact that you suffered certain events in life, right? At a point in time when you cannot afford it, sometimes you reach for what you can't afford. He's going to go for the girl that will not have listened to him when he didn't have a dime, because now he has a
Yeah,
machine.
because he wants to show that I can get this kind
He's
of
going to
girl.
also throw the biggest wedding ever because he needs to impress. Now, after that, day after tomorrow, as long as she signed the contract and the contract is signed, he's not thinking about it anymore. That's no big deal. Like from then on, let's go back to our poverty. But he has shown the whole village or the whole town that he's now one of the guys that they talk about his wedding. There's a real story of somebody who was driving a cab here, doing okay with his cab driving. Now went back to Nigeria that he wants to get married and basically told them he's a doctor. So he had the money, he threw the wedding from his cab business, brought the girl over, back to the US, right? And was taking lab coats and going to work every morning as a doctor until one day the girl finds out. His doctor wife. He married a doctor from a good, from in quotes, an above average family, right? But why did he do that is the question. Why could he not just take what he had and say, this is what I've got? This
Yeah.
is, no.
Because Madam Doctor most likely would not have looked at him if he said, I drive a cab.
Yeah. So in spite of the fact that he could afford to pay for the wedding, he could afford to bring her to the US, he could afford the home that he put her in, which was more than what he could actually really afford, but he was struggling, right? Still, when she found out, okay, the thing didn't last. But there was that whole thing of, he presented himself as a doctor, married the daughter of like professors of medicine,
Right.
for what?
They married their pikin to a cab driver. The shame.
And look at the way you say, you see, that's the thing right there. Look at the way you say, that tells you what our culture is.
So
I'm not saying for me, I'm saying that is what people will say, that the shame.
Very contentiously, like
that's how they will say, like the shame. Imagine professors of medicine went to marry your daughter to cab driver.
Can I come in here? Can I come in here?
Yes, please.
Based on what we are discussing.
Yes, please.
We have identified cultural interest. We also have identified personal interest.
Yeah.
You get it? Now, generally, societal values have changed. In my own tribe, if you understand my language, in my own tribe, there are people who want to do your bidding as a wife. How you want the wedding, I will go along with you. It's becoming a problem now in also our culture. the number of women that are not married is so much now because of the demands of the society, not the individual. Again, the church is beginning to contribute negatively to marriage issue.
You are so
We've
right.
Very correct.
identified all these things. But in the course of marriage, I find that is where I was able to disagree with my parents. First thing, to prove that I am a man and I can be a man. That's where I disagree with them. One, the choice of where I will get married from. The choice of the woman. I remember when I took my wife to my elder sister's place. Then now, because my in-law, then my elder sister's husband, has assumed almost becoming the head of the family. You get it? He just called me Sonny, because Sunday is my name. He just called me Sonny, come, let's go inside and discuss about this your marriage matter. But boldly, because I call him daddy until he died, like I call my elder sister mommy. You know, African respect. You get it? So I just said, daddy, I hope you don't mind. I will come with the woman I want to marry. Because if I go inside that room and discuss anything with you, whether good or bad, by the time I come out, you will not be there when I will be answering multiple questions. So he was like, yeah, I can understand, but you know, we are family. You are trying to bring in somebody who is not yet a family into us. That's a way we can discuss, open up things, hide ourselves and all that. I said, no, whatever. I've made up my mind. That's the person I want to marry. Why I even brought her here is for you to look and accept with me. Whether it's short, green, or white, or whatever, I don't want to argue on that. You understand it? So the same way now, I know people in my culture have had stories like that. I also have had friends who spend so much for their wedding. But I bet you their in-laws will not come into their home. Because what I paid for my wife is so much that you don't come in to come and maybe say your mom is coming to my house. You know, like we do on Mugo thing. No, he has no business with that. Or your dad is sick. Oh, let me bring my dad. Women do that. I enjoy that also from my parents, my in-laws. My parents go to my in-laws' place and all that. You get it? Even it got to a stage, I challenged my mom and my dad. Why do you allow this kind of a man to go and marry my sister? Why? Because the man is so rigid. If I go on holidays there, it doesn't give me any space for anything. And that's why I stopped going to their house for holidays. So what I'm saying in effect is that marriage is one place a man proves himself to be the man. Marriage is also a place where a woman also proves herself to be mature, to be a woman, where you will disagree with your parents on certain things. You get it? I'm happy for is it Candy, the way they resolve their own issues. You understand? I'm happy for that. Like was it Kayode was saying, he didn't like me, I didn't marry on time. Yeah. You get it? So it was a case of why the delay, that they came to ask me, is it that women don't come to you or you don't like women? To prove this point I'm sharing, my mom has to come to my house to stay for 2 weeks to know whether any woman comes at all. Or it's just that I don't, like, if it's modern time now, they will think I am gay. They will ask me, are you gay? You understand it? But my bottom, the reason why I could not marry on time is that I vowed to myself, I will not bring in a woman that I will not be able to take care of, at least feed. Not to talk of buying clothes or taking out or this and that. At least feed. Things wasn't good. So why would you not bombard me to go and marry? I can manage myself, but I can't manage with my wife. It's somebody's daughter. But modern days has made us to erode the basic principles that are ingrained in marriages or how we go about our marriages. You got it? Talking about excessive for a wedding. Now, do you know? I'm sure you all of us know. Some people go for white wedding before they come back for the traditional wedding because of emphasis. But who decides it? It's the culture. The traditional wedding or marriage starts marriage. So, yet we all have identified all these things. It's not right for a man. You don't have a house to put a woman. You don't have a, let's not talk much about car, but in modern time, car is important. What we experience now. But you must have a means of mobility. If you don't have a car, transportation won't be an issue. You get it? Mr. Kawede said the same thing. People that wanted to come to his wedding, they could not because there's no resources there. But now, because of our present excessive needs, people don't marry because of the way they are. They want to marry. My friend did this marriage. I want to beat him. The woman comes also. Don't you see Chioma's wedding? We want to beat her. That is what drives our lifestyle now. So, in conclusion, excessive marriage is not the way out. But as the saying goes before, they say, sew your clothes according to sew whatever according to your size. But now, it is according to the material you have, the texture of material you have, the value of material you have. Mr. Kayode, you are not standing, but I think you're a big man in size. You get it? Now, if you don't have enough clothes to cover this big body, you are likely to force yourself to go and do that. That will be excessive for you. You understand it? So we have identified all these things. In conclusion, excessive marriage is not the way out as far as I'm concerned. But it depends on the individual. I don't have a home to put my wife, then I go and do a great wedding. Even sponsorship. Some women from the church that, I'm coming. In conclusion, from the church that I was attending in Nigeria, I also was in the men's leadership something. I asked young men, why are you not married? I'm like, the demands of our women now is so much. You get it? Then you see some too. Yes, the so-called girlfriend at that time, or the suitor that wants to marry, he has a job. The woman has a job, but the man doesn't have a job. He's just trying to scratch here and there to meet. Then the man will be forced to, don't worry, we foot the marriage. Is it not to buy ring? Is it not to pay for hotel hall? Is it not to organize this? I can handle that. All you have to present yourself. And some men will accept it, but I tell you, it would live long. Those things you are trying to avoid come out. So at the point of marriage, that's when we know who is who. Thank you.
So Justin, I want to ask this because I like I said previously, and because I had to step away. I'm not married, and let's say by some fluke, I decide that I meet a guy and we're talking marriage, and I know myself. I don't like. I'm like consequence in a lot of things. I don't like a lot of drama. I can't stand it, especially when it comes to some things. I'm just like, I beg, just do it and tell me about it later. Don't involve me. I'm very much like that. And I now tell my family, or okay, I've met someone, we want to get married, and maybe because they're so excited because they're like, ha, finally, oh, after how many times she has finally, she's finally going to do it, and they're like, you know what, we want to throw you a massive wedding. And I'm like, you know what, guys, give me the money. And they're like, what do you want the money for? And I'm like, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car. And they're like, okay, no problem. Where is the house you want to buy? We pay. Where is the car you want to buy? We pay. But that big wedding, we must do it because we want to do it. I don't see a problem in, okay, you've given me what I need. The things that I need for my marriage, you've given me that. You are now interested in doing this big party for yourselves for the wedding. Knock yourselves out. But
See,
just be ready that.
That's the same thing that Candy did. That's exactly
it's
what
pretty
Candy did.
much, funny,
You know,
Abby. It's funny because that's pretty much what my parents like. I don't know. Like I feel very lucky because my parents not only did they throw this big wedding for us, but that my dad gave us $10,000 for our down payment for our first house.
Can I be adopted into your family, please?
Is he still around? Okay, sorry. Consequence has been raising his hand.
Consequence, sorry, please. But Candy, let's talk. We are siblings from now.
No. I'm listening. I'm still enjoying it. I'm listening.
Okay. Right.
Please, I'm not even looking for 10,000. 2,000 is okay. I'm okay.
I need the $10,000.
See your face. Really, I need the 10,000. Please, Candy, don't add run into our family group. It's not part of our family.
Google Candy's that now.
No, but seriously, I think that if the needs of what I need, and I think a lot of people, number one, I think that a lot of people get married too early. I don't think that anybody under 30 should be getting married, and that's just my own personal belief. I think that when you're under 30, you still are putting things together in your life. You might have the money and everything, but connecting things in your brain, you haven't yet completely done that. So people need to sit down and first of all discuss, like, what do we need for our marriage? Because people focus so much on that wedding, they forget that there are years after that day. So what do we need for our marriage? Let's get that done first. Then we can start looking at wedding, because the wedding is it's not even 24 hours. It's a couple of hours in a day, and that's it. It's done. And yet you hear people be spend, especially when I'm watching Bridezillas, I'm like, you can see this girl, she doesn't have money, she's struggling, and yet she's saying, my budget is $300,000. From where? Where are you able to see this $300,000? When even you, as you stand, all of you is not up to 50,000. How? So if we're going to take anything away from this show tonight, I think it's important that we take that these weddings, they are just for a couple of hours. They're not the wedding is not a lifetime of marriage. It's just one day. It's a kickstarter to a lifetime with another person. So it's really important to look at what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, Candy said something earlier on. When she said it was just stupid, I said no, it's not stupid. It's people's choices. We need to learn how to identify issues exactly as they are. Doing that when there's no money in your pocket in simple, plain English, unadulterated English, is stupid.
It's stupid.
It's just, and there's no better way to package the answer. It is what it is. And if you do that and you know that you're going to suffer the next day, you also qualify to be called a stupid person. It is that simple. I don't know. Sometimes, these days we are in a generation where we need to be politically correct. In everything we say, we have to be nice. We don't want to hurt feelings. We don't want somebody to upset. We want somebody to like us. No, sometimes we have to talk love. You can't do this. Because if I have somebody who is close to me, who doesn't have money, and is going to go into a wedding arrangement with millions of naira, and I know you don't have money, I don't know where you borrowed that money from, I will gladly call you a stupid.
I will come to your house and collect the money.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be one of the people who beg for the money now. Say, please give me. I'm owing caterer. Hey, give me. The woman that decorated. I haven't paid her. I need to pay. I need some money, please, please. It falls back
I've
on you.
actually been at a wedding where we, the friends, were around at the end, and we were literally saying, "Oh yeah, how much do you have? How much do you have?" Because they are
Ah,
holding this one ransom until we
wait.
pay, and
I
we, the
forgot.
friends, are gathering money on the day to pay caterer. And
I forgot to tell you. I have a friend
I'm not
on the
dropping anything
wedding
inside this
day.
wedding.
Sorry, I have somebody. Let me not call him a friend. I have a friend that on the wedding day he arrived on Okada. This was like 15 years ago. He arrived
Wow.
on Okada. Then they hear he set the wedding date. He didn't have a dime. He didn't have a dime. We arrived on Okada, on bike, on the motorbike. Then when we got there, he just arrived like a guest, as if he was the one that paid for everything. Unknown, before he came, the in-laws, that's the wife's people, started harassing us for various monies, different kinds of money. He didn't pay for this, he didn't pay for that. So we're already emptying our pockets. Money that we're supposed to use and spray. We're already emptying our pockets to pay for everything, before he got there. When he got there, he was still dusting the sand from his clothes from the bike. Guess what? When they started dancing, he started frowning at us that we didn't spray money. That's why we stingy. Can you just believe we
You people
virtually
didn't
just
gather
did
your
your
belts.
wedding? We
I'll
we
spray him.
virtually just paid for your wedding. A wedding he had no plans to pay for. He was empty pocketed, like he came on a bike. And this to the extent some people will go because they know that society will cover them up. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
why,
why they go and invite everyone that they know has a job, that has
yes.
money, to come to their wedding, so that then you foot the bill for their wedding.
I would have people said, please, my friends, I'm ashamed. Don't be angry. I didn't have a choice. I had to do this. And all that. But he was even angry at us that we didn't spray money while he was dancing with his wife. Anytime I remember it, I'm like, where's
Consequence. Have you got
consequence?
anything to add, Kyle? Any more to add before we close
Consequence.
the show?
Consequence.
No.
Anything else you want to add?
No, it's been
For
wonderful.
now, I think nothing for now. I enjoyed the topic. It's been interesting. This is my first time using this. This is the app or something.
I will show you the way after the show. After the show, I'll show you how to do
Kyle,
everything.
Maya, Candy, you want to say anything more?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I think we've covered everything. Like, I think
covered the
people
whole
shouldn't try to
topic,
bankrupt themselves trying to throw a party for one day. Like everybody has pretty much said, it's the marriage that matters, not the wedding day.
Yes.
Yeah. I was happy. I was equally as happy with the small wedding we had when we first got married, just as well as the one my parents threw for me. I would have been happy. I would have been happy with just the one we
Candy,
originally had.
there's nothing to even explain. Look, your wedding was beautiful, and you deserved it, and you got it. And I'm jealous. I am stupidly jealous.
Ask your dad where it was around
I'm
1979
jealous.
in Lagos. It was in Lagos because I'm the long lost son. Around
Please,
1979.
are you Yoruba? Are you Yoruba? You're Igbo. I am more related to Candy than you are.
What if they found me by the gutter? How do you know?
Candy, this is the reason why women usually say they want a big wedding. You see, once they see that $1,000, then the next thing is that the next thing you see somebody will now think her fiance and say, why can't your own parents give us $10,000?
In fact, any man that goes to tell me I want to marry, I'll be like, can your parents give us $10,000?
Are your parents not human beings like Candy's parents?
In fact, I'll just be like, go and talk to Candy first before you talk to me about marriage. Go and talk to Candy first.
So I think we should even end the broadcast now.
Yes,
Mm.
okay. So
Yeah, go to
I
the
want to say
after party.
massive thank you to everyone who's watching, everyone who's tuned in, and of
Don't
course to the
disconnect,
panel, to
oh.
Mr. Justin, to Candy, to Ron, of course, our wonderful rev, to Bumi. I hope she's okay. Please help me, someone
No,
help
no,
me
no, she's
check
fine. We
on
are
her.
chatting. We are chatting.
Okay,
She's doing
to
grocery
of course the wonderful
shopping.
PK Maya, my darling Maya, and Consequence, our new guest. Thank you, each and every one of you. To everyone who's
Thank
Wait,
commented or
you.
something, thank you.
consequence runs a podcast every day on his
Yeah,
Instagram.
you
So
you
maybe
mentioned it. We'll talk
after the
about that
show, he will
later.
tell us more
Yeah.
about it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so you can
please
go.
everybody, we have the after party. Oh, Mr. Justin, I think I can see Madame in the forefront. I don't know whether that's Madame
Hi.
up there.
Uncle Justin,
Hello,
Hello.
we've heard
hello,
about
Hello.
you.
Hi.
hello.
We've heard
Just
about
hold on,
you.
don't leave. Just wait,
What?
wait.
We heard
What?
that
What
you're
is it? What is
wonderful.
that? Keep it going.
We
Just
heard that
wait.
you're a wonderful
No,
woman.
no. I mean, let's go off. Let's go off.
Oh,
Like,
thank God for that. Who says so, Justin?
Yes,
yes,
your
yes,
husband.
yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
So
Thank
everyone wait for the
you.
after party, but thank you everyone who's tuned into the show. And please don't forget, we do this every Tuesday, 8 p.m. GMT. So till we do this again, take care and God bless. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Guys, don't go anywhere.